The opening road trip of 2022 has been one to forget so far for the Rockford Rivets, but a chance to end it on a high note. Four-game road swing before the league's first off day of the season, and the Rivets have a chance to move back to 500 and split with the Jackrabbits here in Kokomo, Indiana. Welcome in, everybody, to the Rockford Rivets Radio Network. I'm Andre Magaro. Happy you could join us for some Monday night Northwoods League action between the 3 and 4 Rockford Rivets visiting the 3 and 4 Kokomo Jackrabbits here from Kokomo Municipal Stadium in Kokomo, Indiana. Tough one for the Rivets, and yesterday afternoon's contest to open up the series. It was Rockford's third straight loss by 1 run on the road, this time conceding a run in the bottom of the 8th inning to fall 4-3 to these very Jackrabbits. Kokomo trying to do what Rockford couldn't to open up the season when the two teams played in Illinois, pick up a sweep. The Jackrabbits could go to 500 for the first time since they split with the Rivets to start the campaign and move into a tie for second place in the Great Lakes East Division. We'll take you through your lineups. First, 1 through 9 for the Rivets order, led by head coach J.T. Scara. 268 team batting average, is currently 5th in the Northwoods League. Not too many lefties in the order tonight, just two of them. It's back-to-back right-handers to get things started. Ty Krittenberger will lead off after not starting yesterday afternoon's contest for the Rivets, and then Johannes Hawkinson promoted to the 2 spot. Then it's one of the two lefties, Dylan Robertson, who's been a staple in that 3-hole. He will DH tonight for the Rivets. Matthew Mebane, usual suspect in the cleanup spot, a double for him yesterday. Ryan Hampy stays in the 5 spot, slides over from first base to catcher. Then the second lefty, Colton Klein, bats 6th, the bottom third, all right-handed of Luke Sefcik, Trent Lawrence back in the lineup, and Jake Bellata returns to the lineup in the 9 spot as well for the Rockford Rivets. He'll be opposed by a hard-throwing right-hander out of the University of Indiana. It's Braden Tucker, just arrived today for this Jackrabbits team. Get you Tucker's numbers on the season here momentarily as we get settled in for first pitch. Tucker this season with Indiana played in 20 games, started 4 of them, went 2-3 with a 5.47 ERA. Was used as a bullpen arm, a closer even at times, and a starter towards the tail end of the season. Opponents at 269 off of the 6'3", 205-pound senior right-hander from Brazil, Indiana. He operates on the first base side of the rubber out of the windup. First pitch, kicked and dealt in. A fastball swung on and missed by Krittenberger for strike one at 5:37 p.m. over in Rockford, 6:37 p.m. local time to get this one started. A couple minutes late after an onslaught of showers before the game, but first it's the off speed from Tucker, finding the zone quickly 0-2 to Krittenberger. Tucker finishes a 4-pitch mix. Slider, curveball, fastball, changeup. Here's the 0-2. Fastball's off the outside edge. Looked like our home plate umpire for tonight was going to call that a strike 3. Almost raised his fists in the air to punch out Krittenberger, but it's just off the plate, 1-2. Even tonight's catcher, Brant Voth, was getting ready to throw that ball around the infield. Evan Kerr is at home plate. He calls balls and strikes. Billy Yeager, the crew chief, at third as the 1-2 pitch. Breaking ball this time swung on and missed. Blocked by Voth. He'll throw down to first to complete the strikeout. 1 away here in the top of the first inning. Including that 3-man crew at first base is Tyler Melhop. So Krittenberger down on strikes will bring you the rest of the Kokomo infield. So we have Alex Neff out in left field. In center field, Luke Sartori. Carlos Hidalgo out in right. Infield, left to right, we have Angel Galindez at third at the hot corner. John Gazdard shortstop. Ethan Hagen joins him up the middle at second. Connor Thornberry is over at first base. And Brant Voth, as we said, doing the catching as the first pitch is swung on and missed for strike 1 by Johannes Hawkinson in the 2-hole tonight for the Rivets. Next pitch on the way. There's the slider. It breaks right at the knees. Quickly 0-2 as Tucker hasn't missed a beat since coming over from Indiana here at the tail end of the season. Hawkinson this season, 9 for 27, a .333 average through his first 5 games. Still looking for his first extra base hit, 8 RBIs. 0-2 pitch is a swing and a miss for strike 3. Powered the inside heater past Hawkinson. It's back-to-back strikeouts for Tucker to start the game here in the top of the first. 2 outs, nobody on. Still scoreless, Dylan Robertson coming to the dish. Game started just a couple minutes late for those of you just joining us. There was the definition of a passing shower here in Kokomo before the game. Looked like, as of last night, that this game was going to have a hard time being played with showers in the forecast for all day. They had subsided. Robertson lays down a bunt with 2 strikes. It's back to the mound. Tucker's off third base side, makes the throw across to retire the side. It's a 7-pitch, first inning, but a passing shower at 6:20. There was a downpour here at Kokomo Municipal Stadium. There are still inches of water in the front of the stands. Fans just trickling their way down to come to their seats. But with the all-turf field, we're able to get through it and start mostly on time, and whatever difference in the time was quickly made up by a 7-pitch top of the first for Braden Tucker. No runs, no hits, no errors. Nobody left for the Rivets and their first ups. Ross Thompson is on the mound for his second start for Rockford when we come back here on the Rivets Radio Network. Back at Kokomo Municipal Stadium in Kokomo, Indiana, scoreless through half an inning between the Rockford Rivets and Kokomo Jackrabbits. Let's meet the lineups here. First 1 through 9, the batting order for first-year manager Stephen Leonetti and the host Jackrabbits. Luke Sartori, the right-handed bat, leads things off. He's back in the field tonight in center. Alex Neff, the left-handed hitting outfielder, hits second. Switch hitting Angel Galindez bats third. Ethan Hagan and John Gazdar, back-to-back right-handers in the cleanup spot and fifth. Carlos Hidalgo, another right-hander, bats sixth. New insertion into the lineup, Connor Thornberry, hits seventh, batting from the right side. Brant Voth, switch hitting catcher, eighth. And Riley Karzinski, the DH for tonight, bats ninth from the right side to round it out. They'll be opposed by Ross Thompson, who makes his second start of the season. First Rivet to do so as Rockford's made its way around the rotation first time. Opening day against the Jackrabbits went 5 innings, gave up 4 earned runs on 4 hits, 3 walks, 4 strikeouts. First pitch on the check swing. First base umpire Tyler Melhop says Luke Sartori went around, so it's an 0-1 count. Sartori this season is 6 for 28 through the first 7 games, a .214 average, 1 RBI to his name. At the knee, slightly open stance from the right side, crowds the plate. Thompson goes outside and up with the fastball, and the count's even at 1 ball and 1 strike. Thompson working quickly out of the windup, third base side of the rubber, drags his left leg up, high leg kick and delivery, off speed away. On the outside edge, Sartori takes, and the count's 1-2. Thompson features full arsenal, fastball, curveball, slider, changeup. We'll see what he goes to here. Next pitch on the way, swung on and missed. First strike 3. Sartori goes down whiffing. Slider broke away from the righty bat. First strikeout for Ross Thompson. Looking to pick up where he left off against the Jackrabbits on opening day. 1 down here in the first. Meet the Rockford defense now. Outfield left to right. Colton Klein in left. Zy Krittenberger in center. Johannes Hawkinson in right field. At the hot corner, Matthew Mebin on the infield. Jake Bellata at shortstop. Luke Sefcik at second. Trent Lawrence at first. And Ryan Hampy does the catching of Ross Thompson. His first pitch to Alex Neff is a called strike at the knees. Neff's first action against Rockford came in yesterday afternoon's series opener, just his 5th game that played here in the Northwoods League as he bounces one foul into the first base coach's box. Occupied by Colton Hahn, assistant for this Kokomo side. Neff this season is 4 of 13, does have a couple doubles to his name. Still looking for his first RBI. Hits in 3 of his first 4 in the Northwoods League. Was 2 for 4 yesterday with a run scored. Kokomo was able to jump on Rockford early, and just like that, an 0-2 pitch ripped up the middle, past Sefcik at second base, in for a base hit. Wide turn from Neff. Throw in from Krittenberger goes to the bag. He'll retreat back, but it's a 1-out single, and the first hit of the game for the Jackrabbits here in the bottom of the first. Just a 2-strike pitch from Thompson that caught too much of the plate right in the wheelhouse of Neff. Mistakes he's trying to limit from his first outing. where Kokomo was able to jump on him for 3 first-inning runs early on opening day before the Rivets offense came to life and dropped that 9 spot in the second of that game, eventually taking it 19-5. Here's Angel Galindez, was a thorn in the side of Thompson's on opening day, was not retired on opening day by the Rivets. Thompson throws the changeup away and gets strike one. Galindez went 2 for 2 with a couple of walks on opening day. He's 6 for 26 this season, so it's since cooled off. Switch hitter will bat from the right side against Thompson as they check on the runner at first base in Neff. This is a Kokomo team that steals quite a lot of bases. Their 20 stolen bases are the third most in the Northwoods League, and they have yet to be picked off this season. Thompson went with the changeup. It was fouled back by Galindez, who's down in the count 0-2. Yesterday, Galindez 0 for 4 with a strikeout in the series opener. Wiggles the bat off his right shoulder, rotates it a couple times near his right ear hole. Jab step from Neff off of first, being held on by Lawrence. Here's the pitch 0-2, check swing. He did not go around. As Thompson tried to bleed a changeup away, it's 1-2. Thompson pins the glove to his left belt loop, peers in at the sign from Hampy, now working straight away out of the stretch. 1-2 pitch is swung on, fouled off onto the concourse on the right side. Galindez, a 257 hitter for Mitchell College this past spring. 1 home run, 20 RBIs. Not a lot of pop, but good bat to ball skills. We'll see if they send the runner with 2 strikes. They hold up. Thompson went inside with the heater. Galindez limboed his way out of the righty box. 2-2's the count. For Neff, only attempted 1 steal. It was successful so far this season. He's got a standing lead, maybe about a step and a half off the bag, jumping up and down. Now making a couple jab steps with his right foot. Runner not going. 1-2 pitch. Inside slider is fisted off foul towards the Rivets bullpen on the first base side. Count remains 2-2, and we'll do it again. Talked about those showers in the top of the first inning that have since subsided. Sky still mostly cloudy, slight breeze blowing out to left field at about 10 miles per hour. The 2-2 changeup runs away, and the count's full to Galindez. Thompson usually somebody that controls the zone very well. 8 walks this season and 71 innings for Heidelberg, but had 3 of them through 5 innings in his first Northwoods League start. Runner goes, 3-2 pitches, bounce towards second base. Sefcik tags the runner running to second. His throw to first is not in time. Galindez beats it out. A high chopper off the all-turf surface here at Kokomo Municipal. Sefcik fields it over to his right, tags Neff rushing towards second base, had to throw off balance towards first. Galindez enough pace to beat it on the fielder's choice, but the lead runner erased, and 2 outs here in the bottom of the first. That's a 4 unassisted on the putout to erase Neff. And there's 2 downs for Ethan Hagen. 6 for 27 this season, 222 average, 4 RBIs through 7 games. Big right-handed bat in the cleanup spot of this Kokomo lineup. Thompson tried to break the slider front door. It's taken for ball 1. Deep breath from the right-hander on the mound out of Heidelberg. Kicks and deals as the runner takes off. Fastball lifted towards right field. Hawkinson drifting back, has a beat on it in the alley. He stands still, makes the catch. About 4 steps away from the track at the 369 mark. That'll do it for the bottom of the first inning. A single is worked around by starter Ross Thompson. No runs on a hit, no errors. 1 man left on base. We're scoreless through 1 here in Kokomo. We'll be right back on the Rivets Radio Network. Well, it took Braden Tucker just 7 pitches to retire the Rockford Rivets in order in the top of the first inning. Now, the Indiana right-hander charged with 4, 5, 6, due up for the Rivets. Here, scoreless in the top of the second inning. Andre Magaro, happy you could join us on the Rockford Rivets radio network as Rockford looks to salvage a win on this opening 4-game road trip of the 2022 season. Leading off the inning is the Northwoods League leader in RBIs, Matthew Mebane. And a cleanup spot for the Rivets. Big, strong right-handed bat freshman out of South Georgia State College, swinging at the first pitch, pops it foul on the right side, out of play. Mebane does not get cheated up there at the dish. 9 hits so far this season and 30 at-bats, 5 of them for extra bases. Hit an opposite field ground rule double yesterday. The next pitch skips in. Tucker misses the field on a fastball, counts 1-1. Mebane 300 average. He's also second in the league with 3 home runs here in the early stages through 7 games. Closed off stance in the righty box. Front foot in front of the back. Closed off towards right center field where he hit that double yesterday. Next pitch is a fastball that sails high, 2-1. Mebane has the bat come to rest on his right shoulder. Tucker on the mound out of the windup first base side. Finds the outside edge, this time a slider, and the count's even at 2-2. This is a deep park here, very hitter-friendly in an all-wood bat league at Kokomo Municipal. 369 is the right center alleyway. 2-2 pitch. Went back to the slider. Mebane checked his swing as it was in the dirt, blocked by Voth, and the count's now full. 369 to right center. It's 330 down either line, 400 dead center, and 348 in left center. Matthew Mebane has displayed some pop we haven't seen out of Rockford Rivet in quite some time. Here's the payoff pitch. Fastball is fouled straight back. Mebane lost the grip on his bat with his top hand as he flailed the bat head out and fouled it back off the back screen. Of course, Mebane still dealing with that left hand injury. Was hit by a pitch in Kalamazoo at the beginning of this road trip. Thumb and wrist area still looks back in blue, still wrapped by some tape as the 3-2 pitch comes in. Mebane smokes one deep to center field. Sartori started in, now heading back. He makes the catch on the edge of the warning track at the 400 mark. Boy, Matthew Mebane gave that ball a ride. Sartori had to adjust, and the Nebraska Cornhusker makes the catch on the edge of the track for a loud out number 1 in the top of the second. Wrist injury and all, Matthew Mebane has continued to crush baseballs for the Rockford Rivets. It's a loud first out, nobody on for Ryan Hampy here in the top of the second. All Big Ten affair as Hampy fouls the first pitch back off the glove of the catcher Voth. Indiana right-hander on the mound in Tucker, and Hampy, a catcher from the University of Illinois. 4 for 20 so far this season. Has hit for the season cycle, if you will. Next pitch bounced back to the mound. Off with a hop is Tucker, first base side. He'll walk it to the bag himself, beat Hampy, who was jogging out of the box. So 1 unassisted for the second out of the frame. Hampy's double yesterday now has a single, double, triple, and home run as his 4 hits, but he's retired quickly on 2 pitches and quickly 2 down here in the second. Now Colton Klein will look to get a rally started for Rockford. Left-handed hitting outfielder, 6 for 24 through 6 games this season, a double and an RBI. Crowds the plate from the left side. First pitch from Tucker went off speed, change up away, 1-0. Klein 2 for 5 in yesterday's game, has 3 of his 6 hits this season against the Jackrabbits. Through 3 games, comes up empty 1-0, swinging at a fastball, counts even. It's been free and easy for Braden Tucker on the mound so far. Fastball runs low 90s, tops out around 93, 94. And a circle changeup to go off of it. He goes straight back to the changeup, runs in on the hands of the lefty bat. It's an inside-out swing to shortstop, easy for Gazdar to field on a couple of hops. Strong throw across, and the side is retired. Just an 11-pitch second inning, and the first 6 Rivets have been retired in order through 2 here in Kokomo. No runs, no hits, no errors. Nobody left through an inning and a half, still scoreless. And the Jackrabbits will send 5, 6, 7 to their order against Ross Thompson when we come back here on the Rivets Radio Network. Scoreless through an inning and a half at Kokomo Municipal. Rivets and Jackrabbits wrapping up a 2-game set. 5-6-7 due up for Kokomo here in the bottom of the second against Rockford starter Ross Thompson. John Gazdar will be the man to lead it off for the Jackrabbits out of the 5-hole. 4 for 22 on the young season through 7 games, a home run, and 4 runs batted in. 1 for 3 yesterday with a walk. Deep breath from Thompson, who worked on the windup on the third base side of the rubber. First pitch away to Gazdar, 1-0. Gazdar and Thompson, of course, quite familiar with each other, facing off on opening day when Thompson made his first start of the season against these Jackrabbits in Rockford. Breaks a slider over the middle of the plate to even the count at 1-1. Gazdar in that game was 0 for 2 against Thompson, but did work out a methodical 11-pitch walk in the first inning. The next pitch is swung on a miss. He's down 1-2 as Thompson went back to the breaking ball. He's set to work quickly off the rubber, already coming set as Gazdar gets back into the box. 1-2 pitch, tap towards first. It'll drift foul before going over the bag. It was a bit of a half swing from Gazdar. Thompson delivered bit of a quick pitch with the heater straight after Gazdar stepped back in the box. He's not playing any games. He's back going before Thompson gets the fresh baseball and is set to go on the mound. So here's the 1-2. Inside fastball is drilled into left field for a base hit. Thompson tried to break it back inside. Gazdar got around on it and continues to grind out at bats against Ross Thompson. Second hit for Kokomo and a leadoff base runner in the second. It was that Gazdar walk with 2 outs that really got the rally started for Kokomo in what was a 3-run first inning on opening day that almost spelled the end of Thompson's outing. Carlos Hidalgo now settles into the righty box. Gazdar not taking off is a stolen base threat at a very aggressive secondary lead, but he'll retreat back to the first base bag as Hidalgo takes ball 1 low. But it was an inning where Thompson almost eclipsed the Northwoods League 35 pitch count threshold. Was north of 30 when that half inning came to an end. If he had gone to 35 or more, would have had to leave the game in the first inning of opening day. The team already down 3-0. That could have certainly changed the momentum of a game that wound up being decisively in favor of Rockford by the time it was all said and done. Rivets won that one 19-5. A couple of checks on the runner Gazdar. He's back with a head first dive. Gazdar is a stolen base threat, 2 for 3 so far this season. He was 18 for 21 in 38 games at Shabbat this spring. Next pitch to Hidalgo. Late swing on a fastball. It's torched foul off the netting above the Rivets dugout. First base side. Hidalgo's just 3 for 17 this season, but his hits have been timely ones. A double yesterday in the 8th inning. He scored the go-ahead run for Kokomo to win the game 4-3 in the series opener. 1-1 count. Rockford, middle infield set to turn 2. Lawrence, the first baseman, holding on the runner Gazdar, who reaches back with his left hand, gets the secondary lead. The curveball from Thompson breaks just inside, 2-1 the count. Hidalgo, a product of St. John's. First time the Rivets are seeing him this season. Next pitch swung on, fouled off to the right side again, 2-2 the count. Hit 261 for the Big East side this spring. No home runs, 14 runs batted in. Not a lot of extra base pop, just 5 doubles to his name. But as we've seen already this series, the all-turf surface plays incredibly quick here at Kokomo Municipal. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Thompson, high leg kick in the delivery, popped up. Hampy off with the mask, playable in foul territory, first base side. He slides in with all his catcher's gear, but he can't make a play on the baseball. Was right over towards the Rivets dugout, went sliding into the cushion-padded wall over by the netting, and the ball just landed to the left of him. Would have been a really awkward play to make, especially with all the catcher's gear. Didn't really have a play on it. There's a lot of foul territory, but not enough to make a play on that one, so it stays 2-2. See if the wheels are in motion here from Gazdar. Thompson set. The 2-2 pitch. Breaking ball swung on and missed for strike 3. Went to the slider, and it dove away from Hidalgo, who could just flail and miss. 2 strikeouts for Thompson. 1 away in the bottom of the second. So 1 out for Connor Thornberry. Thornberry, just 4th game of the season in the Northwoods League. He's 1 for 10 with an RBI. They check on Gazdar back at first once again. First time the Rivets are seeing him this season. 6'6", 225-pound freshman infielder, native of St. Louis, Missouri, plays his college ball at Penn State. First pitch to him, fastball on the outside edge for strike 1. Taking all the way was Thornberry. Thornberry didn't see a lot of action for the Nittany Lions this season. Just 3 appearances, went 1 for 3 at the dish with a couple of strikeouts. Most of his action coming in the non-conference slate back in March before Big Ten play had opened up. A 1 pitch. Breaking ball hit on the ground towards second, could be 2. Stefsik up with it on a high hop. The Bellata short for 1. That's all they'll get. Sliding in was Gazdar. Bellata decided to not risk the throw, stepping over the second base bag. So they erased Gazdar. 4-6 on the putout. Reaching on the fielder's choice is Thornberry. And there's 2 outs here in the second. Thornberry moves quickly down the line for somebody with a big frame that particularly is a first baseman. He was able to beat that one out. Rivets decide not to risk it. They'll keep the 2-out base runner for Brant Voth. Voth 3 for 16 this season. Switch hitter bats from the left side against the righty Thompson. First pitch changeup stings the outside edge, 0-1. Voth did have his best game in the Northwoods League so far in yesterday's series opener. Went 2 for 3. Only had 1 hit on the season coming into that game. He's overmatched by the Thompson slider. Quickly down in the count, 0-2. Has all 3 of his hits against the Rivets this season in 10 at-bats. 0-2 pitch, laced down the right field line. It's a fair ball. Kicks all the way into the corner. Gazdar cruising in towards third. Out to get it is Hawkinson. His throw to Stefsik, an accurate one, the cutoff man. So runners will stay put, but it's a double for Voth. Thornberry up to third, and they're at scoring position with 2 outs. Well, Voth just keeps on hitting against the Rivets. Smoked that pitch down the line over the glove of the first baseman, Lawrence, who was even with the bag, holding on the runner. Thornberry didn't get too much of a jump, so he had to stay put at third base. But 2 in scoring position with 2 outs for Kokomo, looking to take an early lead. Riley Garzinski, the 9-hole man, is the batter. 6 for 17 this season, 353 average. Does have 3 RBIs to his name. First pitch from Thompson, breaking ball, knuckled out towards second, past the diving Stefsik, into right field, a base hit. 1 run scores in Thornberry, and Voth is right behind him as the throw is cut off by Stefsik. A 2 RBI single for Riley Garzinski, and the Jackrabbits take a 2-0 lead here in the second. Really good piece of hitting. Garzinski went out and got the slider diving away from his bat path. He knuckled it towards second base, and Stefsik just didn't have the range out to his right. A diving effort, but a better piece of hitting in the bottom of this Kokomo lineup stings Rockford here in the bottom of the second. Top of the order up now, and Luke Sartori. 0 for 1 today with a strikeout back in the first. First pitch from Thompson, fastball just outside. 1-0 to Sartori. 4 hits already for the Jackrabbits against Ross Thompson. Somebody we're used to pitching the contact, but just not so much hard contact. Again, a Northwoods League All-Star last season, a 2.17 ERA. As the runner takes off, breaking ball is taken for a called strike, throw down to second base, not in time. So Garzinski, very fleet of foot, steals his way into scoring position with 2 outs. Pitch was actually called low to Sartori, so it's a 2-0 count. That's another way Kokomo has hurt Rockford in this series on the base paths. 4th stolen base through the first 11 innings of this series for the Jackrabbits. Sartori out in scoring position, not being held on. Focus is the hitter. 2-0 count to Sartori. Next pitch, swung on, popped up. Playable right side, first baseman Lawrence in foul territory, a step away from the first base coach's box, makes the catch off the brim of his black cap, and that will retire the side. But Kokomo does strike first in this one. A pair of runs on 3 hits. No errors. There was 1 man left on base. Play 2 at Kokomo Municipal. 2-0 Jackrabbits. Rivets will have to battle behind from an early hole for the second straight day. The bottom third of its lineup coming to the dish. After this, here on the Rockford Rivets Radio Network. Back at Kokomo Municipal Stadium, it's 2-0 Jackrabbits as we've reached the top of the third. Andre Maguero, happy you could be joining us for this road trip finale for the Rockford Rivets. Not the end of their road swing necessarily, a league-wide off day tomorrow before they play 2 in Kenosha before returning home to the Lonnie's Field at Rivets Stadium for a couple of games against the Kalamazoo Growlers on Friday and Saturday. But before that, some work to do here in Kokomo. Trailing 2-0 early. A pair of runs on a Riley Garzinski 2-run RBI single at the end of last inning. And the man who just barely missed that baseball, second baseman Luke Sessick, will lead things off here for Rockford in the half inning. Bottom third of the order against starter Braden Tucker, who's shown no signs of slowing down early. He has remained efficient, just 18 pitches through the first 2 frames, but he starts off Sessick with a high fastball, 1-0 the count. Sefcik this season is 7 for 28, 250 average through the first 7 games, up 2-0 after the fastball darts away. But Sefcik 2 doubles, a triple, 6 RBIs. Was 2 for 5 yesterday for his first multi-hit game in the Northwoods League, a product still maturing in front of our very eyes here in the early portion of the season. It's a ground ball foul. First base side, 2-1 the count. In the righty box, he crowds the plate, bend over with his front body, hands clasped close to his throat and the top of that graphite road uniform being worn by the Rivets tonight, as another pitch upstairs makes it 3-1. The gold block numbers and lettering for the Rivets on those graphite jerseys with the black pinstripes. Numbers and lettering outlined in black. 3-1 pitch. Turnaround ground ball towards shortstop. Deep in the hole, Gazdar has it. Backhand his throw. Could it be dug out on the shortstop by Thornberry, and it gets into foul territory. Gazdar backhanded that one in the hole. Made the throw across. It was a high op for Thornberry, who had to chase it on the backhand. His right foot pinned to the first base bag. Couldn't pick it out. It scored as an error for the time being, and Luke Sefcik aboard to start the third inning. First base runner for the Rivets. I'm sure they'll take it any way they can against Braden Tucker. Gazdar, pretty good defensive shortstop, has struggled a little bit with some of those throws over to first in this series. A rally was started from Rockford in yesterday's game when he threw one lackadaisically off his back foot that allowed Owen Brock to reach first base on a ball that couldn't be picked by the first baseman. First pitch is tight to Trent Lawrence, and that started the offense for Rockford. So we'll see if they can get a similar result going here. Lawrence at the dish, 5 for 15 through 5 games, a double 4 RBIs. Righty on righty matchup. Tucker peers in, gets his signs from Voth. Sefcik, two-step lead off of first base. Breaking ball over the front shoulder of Lawrence is inside, 2-0. Trent Lawrence, somebody who's been very valuable to this Rivets team towards the bottom of that lineup, has grinded out at-bats, found ways to get on base. Been particularly good in that 8-hole for the Rivets as he swings and pops one foul on a 2-0 count off the roof of the seating here at Kokomo Municipal. Well, the showers in the forecast haven't done this crowd any favors tonight, but fans still sprinkled throughout the bright red seating that goes up the third base line all the way to first base before the bullpens take over, and then there's grass seating around the rest of Kokomo Municipal and throughout the outfield. 2-1 pitch from Lawrence, fouled back, 2-2. Tucker's been able to battle back in the count. Infield set at double play depth. Here's a 2-2 pitch. Breaking ball laced into left center field. It'll get down for a base hit. It'll split the gap and head all the way to the wall. The center fielder Sartoria eventually gets to it. His throw to second base is not in time. A double for Trent Lawrence. Up to third base is Sefcik, and just like that, the Rivets are in business. First hit is a loud one from the 8-hole hitter Lawrence. He's been Mr. Reliable in the early portion of the season. Rockford's got 2 in scoring position with nobody out here in the third. First mistake pitch we saw from Tucker, hanging breaking ball with 2 strikes, and Lawrence hammered it into the deep gap at the 348 mark. And that allows the Rivets to get 2 in scoring position for the 9-hole man, Jake Bellata. 350 hitter this season through 7 games. 2 RBIs to his name, looking for more. Corners up for Kokomo on the infield right now. Middle infielder is back. The first pitch swung on, fouled. Straight back, 0-1. Bellata was right on the low 90s fastball from Tucker. Middle infielders now scoot even with the second base bag either side. 0-1 pitch. Bellata checks his swing on a curveball. 2-0. Rather, 1-1 the count, excuse me. Bellata been one of Rockford's better hitters with runners in scoring position when he's been given the opportunity this season. 4 for 8 through the early portion of the season. 1-1 pitch. Fastball swung on and missed. Quickly 1-2. That time Tucker able to elevate a little bit. Bellata probably expanded the zone. Rockford as a team this season, shade over 260 with runners in scoring position. Bellata looking to battle back here. Choked up on the bat with 2 strikes. Stands straight up in the righty box. 1-2 pitch. Breaking ball spikes away from Voth. Gets towards the backstop, but it ricochets off the backstop right back to him, so the runners can't advance. It's a hard backstop at Kokomo Municipal Stadium, all brick behind home plate. So when that ball ricochets, if it hits the right part of that concrete brick surface, it'll come right back to home plate. It did, straight to Voth after the ball got underneath his glove trying to reach across his body. So Sefcik stays put at third base. Fortunate break for the Jackrabbits. It is a 2-2 count to Bellata. Here's the pitch. Fastball just off the outside edge of the plate. Voth tried to pull it back. The count rides full. Good battle from the 9-hole man in the Rockford order. First base is open. Nobody out. 2 in scoring position in the top of the third. 2-0 Jackrabbits. Rivets looking to rally. Bellata straight up in the righty box. Wiggles the bat off his right shoulder. Tucker calls for time after a long pause between the two. Tucker towers over on the mound. Off the first base side, will work out of the windup. Pins the glove to his left pec. Now comes set at the belt. Kicks and deals the 3-2 pitch. Breaking ball swung on. Just got a piece of it. Was Bellata. Fouled off of Voth to the backstop. So a fresh pearl for Tucker. We'll do it again at 3 balls and 2 strikes. Peers in with his brown cap, the white Kokomo K with the bunny ears, and the all-cream uniform. High brown socks up to the knee. Here's the 3-2 pitch. Fastball inside out swing. It's fair down the first baseline. Kicks all the way into the right field corner. Sefcik and Lawrence will jog home to score. Bellata sliding into second with a 2 RBI double to knot this game up in the top of the third. What a battle. Jake Bellata saw the full arsenal and got a 3-2 pitch. Roped it down the first base line. Throneberry was even with the bag, but playing off the line. It squeaked through, and Rockford's tied the game here in the third. Still nobody out in the top of the order coming to the dish. Ty Crittenberger into the righty box. 0 for 1, a strikeout his first time tonight. Bellata aggressive lead off second. Now retreats a couple steps towards the bag. Big secondary. First pitch fastball north of the letters. And the Rivets continue to pound opposing starters second time through the order. I've seen it on this road trip already with Adam Wheaton. Saw it yesterday with Hector Garcia. Trying to do the same here to Braden Tucker. Back-to-back doubles combined with the Gazdar error has allowed Rockford to tie the game at 2. Next pitch just at the letters on the fastball to Crittenberger. Counts even. And again, the bottom of this Rivets lineup continues to have production. Bellata doubles his season RBI total. See what Crittenberger can do here. 1-1 pitch. Curveball inside, 2-1. Both starters have been trying to break that one front door, but home plate umpire Evan Kerr hasn't given an inch to the pitchers on those occasions. 2 balls, 1 strike, nobody out. Tucker peers back to runner, now kicks and deals. Fastball laced into right field. It's down for a base hit. It eats up Hidalgo and goes all the way to the wall. Bellata comes around to score. Crittenberger turns on the afterburners. He'll pull up at third. More defensive miscues for the Jackrabbits on their home turf, and Rockford capitalizes. 3 straight hits. It's 3-2 Rivets in the top of the third. Scored as the second error of the inning after a single from Crittenberger. It'll be a 2-base error on the right fielder Hidalgo, so no RBI, but Rockford's come from behind to take the lead. And Stephen Leonetti out for a mound conference. 18 pitches through the first 2 frames for Braden Tucker. He's thrown 18 here in the third and has yet to record an out. How quickly the game has gotten away. And if you're Leonetti, just got to be settling your starter down. He had good stuff first time through the order, was overwhelming a lot of these Rockford bats. Only hard hit ball was from Mebane, who smoked it towards center field. But right now, Tucker looking for answers. Still nobody out, runner on third. We'll see what he decides to do with the infield. Had gone with that hybrid option on the all-turf infield. Came back to bite them. Now the corners come up even with the bag, but they're a little closer to the line for Johannes Hawkinson. Middle infielders still stay even with the second base bag either side of it. First pitch to Hawkinson, fastball over the outside edge. You call it strike 1. Throneberry at first, Galindez at third. Stay closer to those lines. We're playing off of them last time when Bellata doubled down the right field line on the hard hit ground ball. Hawkinson elevates one foul first base side. He's down in the count 0-2. Tucker's outmatched him here with a couple of fastballs. We'll see if he goes back to it here or goes to the breaking ball. 0-2 pitch. Did go to the fastball. Tried to paint the outside edge. It's just off the plate. 1-2. Hawkinson, 8 RBIs so far this season, had 2 of them yesterday. This one kicks away from Voth towards the Rivets on deck circle to the right side. This time, no friendly ricochet. Krittenberger jogs home on the wild pitch. Looked like a cross-up between catcher and pitcher. Rivets won't care. It's another run in the dugout. 4-2 Rockford. Still nobody out in the third. Voth just did not look comfortable fielding that baseball. Went off his chest protector out to the right, and his hands got a little crossed up trying to field a 2-2 pitch. Breaking ball fouled straight back from Hawkinson. But he went to the off speed, awkwardly angled towards Voth. Looked like it bounced right in front of him on the turf, and he just couldn't field it cleanly. So now 2 balls and 2 strikes. Here's the pitch from Tucker. Fastball low and away. Voth straddles it across his body. 3-2 count. And you can see the frustration mounting for the pitcher, Tucker, who's given up some harder hit baseballs in this inning, but a couple of errors made behind him to kickstart this Rockford team, and then the wild pitch. Frustration certainly getting towards his head. 3-2 pitch. Gets a swing and miss from Hawkinson at the fastball. Badly needed strikeout. Finally one away here in the third. And Johannes just a little tardy on that occasion on the fastball. He'll retreat back to the dugout. It's the 3rd strikeout for Braden Tucker, and that'll bring up Dylan Robertson. Started out as another efficient outing for Braden Tucker, but has quickly gotten away from him. He's somebody who's worked a little bit as a hybrid this season for Indiana and has become familiar with a variety of roles. Long relief, short relief, some starts. First pitch is across the letters for strike 1 to Robertson, who bounced out back to the mound, attempting to bunt back in the first inning. But Tucker's been a little bit all over the map in his Indiana career. 0-1 pitch grounded towards shortstop. Chance for Gazdar. This time steps into the throw, and it's in plenty of time to nail Robertson. So quickly 2 down here in the third. Tucker's last outing of the college season came back on May 28th. Was a Big Ten tournament elimination game. Indiana had their backs to the wall against Maryland, and he went 6 innings in relief, allowing 4 hits, 0 runs, striking out 5. Ultimately got the win in an 11-inning affair to send Indiana to the Big Ten semifinals. First pitch to Matthew Mebane, low for ball 1. So he's been in big spots before and ended the year on about the highest note that he could for the Hoosiers before coming here to Kokomo, but Rockford figured him out second time through the order. Mebane had him rather figured out first time through. He scolded a ball to center field that Sartori was able to race back and catch on the warning track. 1-1 pitch after taking strike 1. There's the nasty slider, but Mebane able to check his swing. Strong wrist from the big man out of Georgia, and it's a 2-1 count. 6'3", 225 in the box. 6'3", 205 on the mound. Next pitch is a fastball right at the top of the letters. Mebane shakes his head in frustration. Maybe thought that one was a little north, but the count's even at 2 balls and 2 strikes. Mebane's been dealing with a lot of discomfort with that hand. The off day can't come at a better time for him. 2-2 pitch. Fastball's just off the outside edge. Mebane took it all the way. He stays in for a 3-2 count. And that is the 35 pitch threshold, as it was just announced for Braden Tucker. So he will come out of this ball game after this half inning. 3-2 pitch. And the slider's right over the middle of the plate. It was a half swing from Mebane, who walks back to the dugout slightly frustrated, but Braden Tucker might emerge the more frustrated party. From 2 innings of dominance to an inning of Rockford resiliency. For the Rivets, 4 runs across in the inning on 3 hits. There were 2 Kokomo errors. Nobody left on base. And how the game has shifted. 4-2 Rivets, and Ross Thompson can head back out to the mound with a 2-run lead against 2-3-4 in the Kokomo order when we come back here on the Rivets Radio Network. Rivets flip this matchup on its head in the blink of an eye. Now 4-2 Rockford. So we head to the bottom of the third inning, a 4 spot. And the top of the third for this Rivets team, looking for road win number 1 on the season. And now a lead built up, and the starter, Braden Tucker, out of the game for Kokomo. Rockford's got its ace, Ross Thompson, on the hill. He'll pitch to 2-3-4 in the Kokomo lineup, looking to protect this 2-run lead. First pitch to Alex Neff, golfed out towards right field. Hawkinson racing towards the line. Good closing speed to make the catch. Looked like it could have been extra bases off the bat of Neff, but Hawkinson, rushing over from right center, lost his lid, was able to run towards the foul line, make the catch 2 steps away from that foul line for out number 1. So 1 pitch, 1 away. Angel Galindez set to step in. Galindez, a switch hitter, took his first at-bat against the righty Thompson right-handed, reached on a fielder's choice. Now he goes into the lefty box, shows bunt, pulls back, pitches outside for ball 1. Galindez has been giving Ross Thompson plenty of looks so far this season. He tries the drag bunt from the lefty box. He bunts it straight back foul to the right of catcher Ryan Hampy. So the count's 1-1. Galindez had 2 hits against Ross Thompson on opening day, a single to either side of the outfield from either side of the plate. Took his first at-bat right-handed against Thompson here, and now in the lefty box in a 1-1 count. See if he shows again. Does not. This time slaps it towards left field, and that's going to get down on one hop in front of Klein. Nearly bounced over his head. Klein had to leap up in the air to lasso that ball in. Shows you how the turf plays here at Kokomo Municipal. Klein is 6'3", and that ball nearly leapt right over him, but it's a 1-out single for Galindez, who has reached in all 4 ABs against Thompson this season. It's the 5th hit already for Kokomo in the 3rd inning, but it's continued to be a situation for the Jackrabbits. They haven't been getting runners across with regularity. Big 2 RBI hit from Garzinski in the last half inning, but the numbers offensively just haven't been there for the Jackrabbits so far this season. First pitch from Thompson, breaking ball inside, check swing foul from Hagen towards the Rivets dugout on the right side. Kokomo came in today batting .234 as a team. It's the 9th worst average in the Northwoods League. Haven't quite been them same selves, the team that won the second half Great Lakes East title last season and went to the playoffs. Chris, first year with the new coaching staff. This one's grounded towards second. Sefcik up with it cleanly, flips the ball out for first, spin, throws, in time, a double play. Beautiful turn. Sefcik had it up the middle, the shovel to Bellata, who spun off the second base bag and threw a bullet to Lawrence at first in time to retire the side. For Kokomo, no runs on a hit, no errors, nobody left. And a pitcher's best friend, a ground ball double play, ends it here in the 3rd. 4-2 Rivets. We'll head to the 4th after this here on the Rockford Rivets Radio Network. For the 4th from Kokomo Municipal Stadium. and starter Braden Tucker out of the game for the Jackrabbits as Rockford scored 4 in the top of the third, take a 4-2 lead. JT Holton will be the reliever, used out of head coach Stephen Leonetti's bullpen to face the Rivets here in this fourth inning. Holton is a freshman left-hander out of Kirkland, Indiana, plays his college ball at Indiana University of Kokomo, so should be familiar with the facility. So far this season in the Northwoods League, Holton has pitched twice for the Jackrabbits, 2 innings of work, 2 hits, 1 earned run, 3 walks, 4 strikeouts. Did face the Rivets on opening day when an inning allowed his 1 earned run on 3 walks and 3 strikeouts. Pitched a scoreless inning against Kenosha last time out on Friday. Holton will face 5, 6, 7 in the Rockford order. Ryan Hampy, Colton Klein, and Luke Sefcik. 2 of the 3 who he did not see in that opening day affair at Rivets Stadium. Sefcik, the only one who was in the lineup that day. So the first pitch now to Ryan Hampy. 0 for 1 today, grounded back out to the mound first time up. Was retired by the pitcher Tucker, who had beat him over to the first base bag on that grounder back to the mound. First pitch swung on, fouled off slightly to the right side off the netting. 0-1 to Hampy. So this season for IU Kokomo as the next pitch is low to Hampy to even the count. 14 appearances, went 5-2, a 3.57 ERA. Ate up 53 innings for the Cougars, gave up 21 earned runs, 16 walks, 55 strikeouts. When he's in the zone, he's effective. Next pitch from Hampy popped up foul, reached the seats on the right side. 232 batting average against. That's the 3rd lowest on the IU Kokomo staff. Let's get the fighting Illini catcher Hampy down to the count here, 1-2 to start things out. Hampy 4 for 21 this season after his ground out back to the mound first time up tonight. 1-2 pitch. Fought off the hands towards center field. It's going to get down for a base hit. Hampy's able to get around on the inside pitch. It falls in front of Sartori, so there's hit number 5 of the season for Ryan Hampy. 4th hit of the game for Rockford and a leadoff base runner here in the 4th. Good piece of hitting from Hampy. Wasn't the easiest pitch to work with 2 strikes, but he manages to fight it off and find some turf. That's a ball you're happy to see fall for the Rivets. They've stung a couple of baseballs in this series that haven't fallen, and it's good to see them get some justice here to maybe start a rally going and try to add on to this lead. Colton Klein, the batter, 0 for 1. Grounded out to shortstop his first time up. Lefty on lefty matchup, Holton's first pitch. Breaking ball away, 1-0. But really good for the Rivets because they've managed to put up crooked numbers throughout this road trip in the middle innings. Of course, the leads in Kalamazoo will be all too familiar, 7-0 and 8-0 respectively. And even though their bullpen has faltered, as this one kicks off the leg pad of Voth after he whiffs on it with the glove, kicks out to his left, so jogging into second in scoring position is Hampy. We'll see how that one's scored, either pass ball or wild pitch. Either way, it's a Rivet in scoring position with nobody out. And a 2-0 count to Colton Klein. But as I was saying, the leads for Rockford, yes, the bullpen has faltered, and that's been maybe the main culprit for some of their losses on this road trip, but the offense has also, at points, gone dormant once they've gotten into the other team's bullpen after being really effective against starting pitching. Klein gives this one a ride to center field. Sartori's back on it. He makes the catch a couple steps away from the track. Had Klein playing deep, and there you go, another baseball hit on the screws, but it's nothing but allowed out number 1. And that's happened all too often to Colton Klein. He's into a little bit of sour luck. His teammates are meeting him on the top step of the dugout, giving him some fist pumps, saying, "That's not on you. You did everything you could right there." It's been a couple times this series where Klein has squared up a baseball just straight at center field. The outfield plays really big here at Kokomo Municipal, as been talking about earlier on in the broadcast. 400 to dead center. And in a wood bat league, that's a hard fence to clear for a lot of these collegiate players. Inside move towards Hampy, who's back to the second base bag. Luke Sefcik, the hitter. He reached on the error to start The Rockford third came home to score the first of 4 runs. First pitch swing and a miss at a slider, 0-1. Was a ball hit on the ground, a worm burner to Gazdar in the hole at shortstop. He backhanded it, flung it across the diamond, almost lackadaisically, and it was a high hop for Thornberry at first base, but he couldn't pick it out on the backhand. And that led to Sefcik reaching and coming around to score. Next pitch tickles the outside edge, quickly 0-2 to Sefcik. Infield's back for Kokomo, outfield deep. 0-2 the count with 1 out and a runner on second. 4-2 Rivets here in the fourth. Pitch to Sefcik, laced foul off the netting atop the Rivets dugout first base side. Sefcik hits in 6 of his first 7 in the Northwoods League. Redshirt freshman did not see action this season for Central Michigan. No balls, 2 strikes. Here's the pitch. Breaking ball bends off the outside edge. 1-2 the count. It's been really great to see Sefcik get some at-bats here throughout his start as a Rivet and really grow into the collegiate game after not seeing that game time action. Local product, another Cangelosi spark. They're littered all throughout this Rivets lineup and get to make an impact on his home state Northwoods League team. This time Holton gets the breaking ball over the outside edge. It's a called strike 3. Sefcik down on strikes. First strikeout for Holton. 2 down in the fourth. So that's all for Sefcik. 2 down for Trent Lawrence. Had the first hit of the game for the Rivets, a double smoked into the gap. First pitch to him. Breaking ball over the outside edge, a called strike. That's been the bread and butter for Holton so far in this outing. That floating breaking ball that's clipped the edge of the strike zone. It's been really effective against these hitters. Lawrence did face Holton back in Rockford on opening day. He was hit by a pitch. Next delivery, fans on the changeup 0-2. The fastball command hasn't always been there for Holton in this inning. He's made a couple mistakes, allowed Hampy to get that 2-strike base hit, Klein the fly out to center. But that off speed has been stifling to the last 2 hitters in Sefcik and Lawrence. Has a 1 pitch away from getting out of the frame. Here's the 0-2. Goes fastball, late swing from Lawrence, able to just get a piece and skew it foul to the right. Lawrence, tough guy to strike out. He's been a grinder at the bottom of that Rivets lineup. 6 of them so far on the season. Choked up on the bat with 2 strikes, wiggles it off his right shoulder. 0-2 pitch, fastball, no contest. That's away. So 1-2 to Trent Lawrence. And at the knees, slightly open stance in the righty box. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Here's the pitch. Goes back to the changeup, and Lawrence is able to just lunge out and get a piece of it. That pitch from Holton wiggles away from righty hitters, almost towards the lefty box, and Lawrence had made the decision to swing and was just able to fight it off. So it stays 1-2, 2 outs. First inning out of the pen for JT Holton after starter Braden Tucker was only able to go 3 innings. Gave up 4 runs, only 1 of which was earned. He'll be hard pressed running into that 35 pitch count limit. 1-2 pitch is a called strike 3. Breaking ball found the zone this time. 2 backwards Ks in the inning for Holton. He gets out of the frame unscathed. For Rockford, no runs on a hit, no errors, 1 man left. We have played 3.5 at Kokomo Municipal. 4-2 Rivets. We'll step aside on the Rockford Rivets Radio Network. Okay, Kokomo Municipal Stadium, bottom of the fourth inning, excuse me, almost said fifth. Starter Ross Thompson still on the mound. First pitch tight to John Gazdar. Takes for ball one. Gazdar singled back in the second inning. It's 5-6-7. Two up for Kokomo as Rockford leads 4-2. Next pitch fouled back, 1-1 the count. Ross Thompson's continued to grow into this outing. 39 pitches through 3 frames. Just a 6-pitch 1-2-3 third inning, helped out by a double play ball. And Field's back here at a 1-1 count. Gazdar sprays another one foul, this time to the right side of the concourse. 1-2. But Thompson did have those first inning struggles in his opening day start against this Kokomo team. Almost reached that 35 pitch count that did in tonight's Kokomo starter, Braden Tucker. 1-2 pitch, tries to nibble outside, but misses with the location. So the count 2-2 strikes. Thompson was just able to stay within that 35 pitch limit. Said he didn't feel his sharpest heading onto the mound that first inning, but he figured it out as this pitch is fouled back by Gazdar. Talking about trying to find the feel for his pitches, trying to remain in rhythm early on in that start and opening day. And he certainly was able to do so as the innings wore on. That's why he was able to give 5 effective innings for that Rockford team. Included a couple of 1-2-3 innings in the middle frames, and so far that's what we're seeing right now in this one. The 2-2's popped up. Stefsick calling for it to the right of the second base bag. The second baseman makes the catch for out number 1. But we're starting to see more of the Ross Thompson that was the Northwoods League All-Star last year now. Pitching to weak contact, getting in on the hands of hitters. Talks about tunneling his pitches to get in on the hands of hitters. It's what he likes to do. Make hitters uncomfortable, especially with the wooden bats used in the Northwoods League. And it's been effective for him so far in his career as a Rivet. He starts away to Hidalgo, so the count's 1-0. One of 2 strikeout victims of Thompson back in the second inning. This one hit on the ground, right side. High hop for Stefsick. He turns, spins, throws from shallow right field in time to nail Hidalgo. All the choppers are treacherous at Kokomo Municipal with the all-turf stadium. That one had a lot of bounce in it. Stefsick had to show impressive range to his left, was able to snare it, spin, turn, and throw to Lawrence covering first base. So a quick 2 outs on just 8 pitches here in the fourth for Connor Thornberry. Thornberry beat out a double play ball, reached on a fielder's choice, came around to score the first run of the game for the Jackrabbits. Checks the swing here. Counts 1 ball and no strikes. That was back in the second inning. Kokomo struck early for its first 2 runs. Ground ball to Bellata on a couple of hops. Has it at shortstop. Throw to first in time. And how about the efficiency and swagger from Ross Thompson? 9-pitch fourth inning. Jackrabbits sat down 1-2-3 in order. No runs, no hits, no errors. Nobody left. Cruising through 5 at Kokomo Municipal Stadium. 4-2 Rockford as we head to the 5th here on the Rivets Radio Network. Back at Kokomo Municipal Stadium, top of the fifth inning, it's 4-2 Rivets. Looking to add on with 9-1-2 in their order, due up against JT Holton, who's back for a second inning of relief out of that Jackrabbits bullpen. Starter Braden Tucker could only go 3 frames, reached the Northwoods League 35 pitch count limit, and so his day was done after 3 innings, allowed 4 runs on 3 hits. Only one of the runs was earned. There's been 2 key Jackrabbit errors in this game that kickstarted the Rockford offense. He had no walks and 3 strikeouts. First pitch to Holton to Jake Bellata is a hard hit ground ball to shortstop, knocked down by Gazdar on the backhand. His throw to first is not in time. Be interesting to see how that scored. Bellata hit a hard one hopper that kicked off the glove of Gazdar, trying to knock it down to one knee on the backhand. His throw to first was accurate, just not in time to Throneberry. We'll see how it's scored. It's the 5th Rivets hit, so an infield single for Bellata starts off the 4th. And I think a fair call. That was a tough one for Gazdar. High hop on the turf surface. Even if he snags it cleanly, he's down to his knees. Bellata runs well. No telling if he would have been able to throw him out. But a leadoff base runner for Ty Krittenberger, top of the lineup for the Rivets. First pitch fouled straight back, 0-1. Krittenberger 1 for 2 today. Struck out in the first, singled in the third. Came around to score. A single ultimately round up scoring Trent Lawrence and Luke Sefcik. But it was a ball that kicked away from the right fielder, Hidalgo, and that was one of those costly 2 errors for the Jackrabbits. It got Krittenberger all the way to third base, where he's able to score on a wild pitch. Takes off the plate, 1-1 the count. Infield set at double play depth. Not a very aggressive lead for Bellata, but Krittenberger laces one into left field. It's down for a base hit. Neff is able to chase it down and cut it off before it reaches the gap, so Bellata stops at second. Back-to-back singles for Rockford to start off the 5th. And JT Holton finding the top of this Rivets lineup difficult to deal with, much like the situation that arose for Braden Tucker. The 8 and 9 hole hitters, Bellata and Lawrence, had back-to-back doubles against Tucker before turning things over to this top of the lineup. Here's Hawkinson, twice a strikeout victim tonight. First pitch to him, grounded foul off of home plate. It's been feast or famine at times for Johannes Hawkinson early on in this Northwoods League season. Of course, the opening day game that everybody will remember, 5 for 6, 5 RBIs, all on singles. He started the season 7 for 13, but then went on an 0 for 11 streak. Here's a back pick on a ball that was taken outside. Sliding back in safely at second base is Bellata. Counts 1-1. Voth tried to catch him napping, but he was able to slide back safely feet first. But for Hawkinson, 2 for 4 yesterday, a 2 RBI single. It was big in the grand context, tied the game at time for the Rivets in the middle innings. But today, another one of those tough games. Back-to-back strikeouts to start it. 1-1 pitch. Hawkinson off the end of the bat, foul. And it's 1-2. Third-year Northwoods League player, of course, Hawkinson plays his college ball at Concordia University of Wisconsin. They're already familiar with the area, but last year played for Traverse City and Rockford on temp contracts. Also played for Rockford in the bubble in 2020. 1-2 pitch is swung on and missed. Holton went to the breaking ball. And it's the 3rd time Hawkinson's gone down swinging in the first 5 innings. 3rd strikeout for Holton. 1 away in the 5th. Dylan Robertson walks up to home plate, balancing the baseball on his forehand before flipping it back to the home plate umpire. One of those pitches fouled off by Hawkinson in the last at-bat. I think that perfectly epitomizes Robertson, who's now motioning with his front elbow before he steps into the lefty batter's box, practicing his swing mechanics before digging into that lefty box, kicking up some rubber pellets on the all-turf surface. He's been somebody that's been lighthearted since coming in and been a huge jolt of energy into this Rivets lineup, a staple in that 3-hole. He goes up hacking at the first pitch, fouls it back 0-1. Robertson's a big-time leader on this Rivets team. You get that feeling just from being around him. During some of the ninth innings that have gotten away from Rockford on this road trip in Kalamazoo, where pitchers have been out of the zone, he's always been in the infield, urging them on. He's just a voice that likes to be heard in the clubhouse. 0-1 pitch, sauced out towards left field. Neff charging in. He's got it. The left fielder makes the catch for out number 2. That was off the inside of the bat. Robertson couldn't get around on the inside pitch. So a can of corn for out number 2. Still 2 on with 2 out, 4-2 Rivets. And here's your Northwoods League RBI leader, Matthew Mebin. Still yet to get a hit today. He's 0 for 2. First pitch off the outside edge for a ball. I mentioned Mebin's been having some problems with that hand. The left hand in particular, the bottom one gripping his bat. That's where he got hit in Kalamazoo and took off his tape during batting practice today and could see lots of shades of purple and some difficulty swinging, gripping the bat, even playing the field at times, trying to secure the baseball in his glove. A wild swing and a miss there, 1-1. But he's managed to power through it. He's played every game so far this season. So that's one of the reasons he came to the Northwoods League. Wanted to prove to scouts that he could play every day. 1-1 pitch, a breaking ball right over the inside edge, 1-2 the count. And albeit it's pretty early in the season, only 7 games, but I think so far he's showing that he can play every day and still be productive. 1-2 pitch. Tap back towards the mound. It's up the middle and through for a base hit. Windmills around, coming home is Bellata. The throw goes into second, and Rockford adds on. Your Northwoods League RBI leader, Matthew Mebin, a line shot single up the middle, scores Bellata, and it's 5-2 Rivets in the 5th. 2-strike hitting. Matthew Mebin makes the adjustment, guides the ball up the middle, kicked off the mound into center field. Crittenberger up to second. They're on first and second with 2 outs. What a piece of hitting from Mebin. So here's Ryan Hampy into the righty box, 1 for 2 today. First pitch from Horvath, breaking ball low, 1-0. And that's what makes Matthew Mebin so tough to get out. He's done some things swinging the bat, putting it into the power alleys, hitting it out with ease on the road and at home that you just don't see. And then it's the adjustment as well, as attempted stolen base is not in time. The throw looked like it had beaten Crittenberger, but he manages to dodge the tag and slide in safely to the back of the third base bag. And now they're actually going to send Crittenberger back to second base. And manager JT Scara immediately comes out of the Rockford dugout. It was the crew chief, Billy Yeager, who's tonight's third base umpire, that ruled Crittenberger had to go back to second base. And home plate umpire Evan Kerr also having a word in that situation. He talks to Scara. I'm not entirely sure what you would call there that would send the runner back to second base. Either he's safe or he's out, even if it's some sort of interference call. Have to get confirmation on that. But regardless, Crittenberger does not get the stolen base. He's at second, and it's a 2-0 count to Hampy. Here's the pitch. He'll just take off again. Pitch is elevated towards center field. Hampy throws his bat head down. He knows Sartori has it lined up in center, and he'll make the catch to end the inning. So further damage avoided by Kokomo, but Matthew Mebin does it again. A base hit up the middle with 2 outs, plates Bellata, and Rockford adds on here in the 5th. 1 run on 3 hits, no errors. 2 men left on base. 5-2 Rivets through 4.5. We'll step aside here on the Rockford Rivets Radio Network. In the fifth from Kokomo Municipal Stadium, 5-2 Rivets. Adding on another run in the last half inning, a Matthew Mebin RBI single, number 14 on the season. Plates Jake Bellata, and Rockford adds on, looking to find that elusive first road win here of 2022. They've been ripped from the hands of the Rivets on this road trip, but trying to end things on a high note for the league-wide off day tomorrow. 8-9-1 due up at the Kokomo lineup against starter Ross Thompson. We'll start with Brant Voth. Switch hitting catcher from the left side. Doubled and scored back in the second. Voth's double came on an 0-2 pitch from Thompson. I'm looking to avoid that mistake this time. Dots the outside edge with a fastball. Started Voth out 0-1. 2 runs on 5 hits for the Jackrabbits through the first 4 ups. For Rockford, it's 5 runs on 7 hits as Thompson finds the outside edge with a changeup. Loves to throw that changeup to lefties. It darts away from their bat path. The Voth is down in the count 0-2. But 2 costly errors for Kokomo in the field were part of a 4-run inning for Rockford in the third, and the aforementioned Mebin single getting them their 5th. Thompson goes straight back to the changeup, and it swung on and missed for Voth. Strike 3. Third strikeout for Thompson. Sits down Voth on 3 pitches, 1 away here in the 5th. It's now 8 retired in a row for Ross Thompson. He's been in a different type of groove since this man, Riley Garzinski, stepping into the righty box, delivered a 2 RBI single for the Jackrabbits in the second. He's swinging at the first pitch, fouled off to the right side. 0-1 the count. That ball ricochets off the netting over towards the Rockford on-deck circle, first base side. Garzinski, another man that plays his college ball here for Indiana University Kokomo. Local product, choked up on the bat in an 0-1 count. Thompson bounces in a breaking ball, counts even. Garzinski hit .323 this season for Indiana University Kokomo. 1 home run, 26 RBIs. That time, the slider tried to bend it over towards the outside edge, just off the plate. Hampy looked to frame, but could not get the signature of home plate umpire Evan Kerr. 2 balls and 1 strike. But Garzinski's been a thorn in the side of Rockford. Kokomo's win in Rivets Stadium last Tuesday went 3 for 4 with a double. Has had hits in now 4 of his first 5 Northwoods League games. Thompson gets a swing and a miss with another slider, and the count's 2-2. See what he goes to here. Out of the windup, third base side. 2-2 pitch, fastball popped up. First base side, playable in shallow right field for Hawkinson, who drifts in for out number 2. Quickly 2 up, 2 down. And Ross Thompson, continuing to be in a groove, was helped out by a double play ball in the third inning. "23 pitches to retire the last 9 he's faced. That's remarkable efficiency, and it's going to allow him to get deep into this ballgame should he continue that. Third time through the order for Luke Sartori to try to crack Ross Thompson. He's 0 for 2 so far today, popped out the first, and also struck out. First pitch low and away for a ball. Next pitch from Thompson, fouled straight back. Counts 1-1. Sartori this season just 2 for 13 against the Rivets. So Kokomo's only played 2 teams so far this season. They had a 4-game set against the Kenosha Kingfish, and now this, their 3rd and 4th games against Rockford. Check swing. He went around, according to first base umpire Tyler Melhop. That time, Thompson dropped the slider that moves really well horizontally across the zone against these righty bats. 1-2 is the count. Thompson looking for his 3rd straight 1-2-3 inning. 1-2 pitch, hit on the ground towards third. High hop for Mebin. From behind the bag, his throw across the diamond is in plenty of time. Cruise control for Rockford's all-star, Ross Thompson, an 11-pitch frame, and he continues to dice up the Jackrabbits here on Monday night. 5-2 Rivets through 5. We'll head to the 6th after this on the Rockford Rivets Radio Network. For the sixth from Kokomo Municipal Stadium, the host Jackrabbits trail the Rockford Rivets 5-2. Rockford looking for its first road win of 2022. They have 6, 7, 8 scheduled to hit in this inning. Klein, Sefcik, and Lawrence against JT Holton, who's limited the damage, all things considered, through 2 innings of relief. 4 hits, 1 earned run, scoring in the last half frame, but he's done a sizable job after coming in on quick notice after starter Braden Tucker had to come out after 3 innings due to the Northwoods League pitch count rules. Eclipsed 35 in the 3rd inning. Really came out of nowhere after only 18 pitches through the first 2 frames. First pitch low and away. Bounces in for a ball to Colton Klein. Klein 0 for 2. Stung a ball to center field his last time up, straight at Luke Sartori, who hasn't played deep in center currently. Holton low and away with 2 straight to count 2-0. Klein crowds the plate from the left side. The 2-0 pitch, a ground ball stung off the leg of Holton. Dribbles out towards third base. Umpire immediately calls for time. It'll go down as a base hit for Klein. But that one hit JT Holton right atop the shoe on his left leg as he shows it to third baseman Angel Galindez, who caught the ricocheted baseball, didn't have a play on the bare hand against Klein, who's speedy up the line. But you could hear that one up here, and he's limping around on the turf mound right now at Kokomo Municipal Stadium. There is action already in the Jackrabbits bullpen. Holton had already gone a couple innings of relief. But this might just expedite that process as the trainer comes out and checks on his left leg. Talked about it earlier, how fast these ground balls can get on you. When you keep in mind how quick this turf plays, probably playing a little slower today than it did yesterday because of all the rain it absorbed throughout the early portions of the afternoon and the downpour we had just 15 minutes before first pitch. Holton's walking it off. He's going to maybe try to give it a go here. Training staff still watching him all the way as he steps his foot back on the mound. Head coach Stephen Leonetti is also out there. They're going to ask Voth to go crouch behind home plate and give him a couple of tosses to see if he's all right. But that ground ball in about 2 hops just sprayed straight off the top of his ankle and ricocheted out towards third base. He's going to give it a go here for a couple of tosses as Klein waits over on first. Certainly hope he's all right. Looks fairly comfortable, all things considered, with these tosses out of the stretch. Of course, always want to be cautious, especially in summer ball. Seen that with Jeff Ince already on this Rockford team. Of course, the tight hamstring on opening day when he hustled out an infield single. He's starting to look a little better. He's took ground balls in warm-ups today. Also hit batting practice for the first time as he looks to get back into the Rivets lineup. And it looks like good signs, all things around here. Holton's going to stay in the ballgame. Leonetti's back into the Kokomo dugout along with the athletic training staff. So I hope Holton's all right. He's going to stay in to face Luke Sefcik. 0 for 2 today. Sefcik reached on an error and scored as part of the 4-run third. Struck out looking in the 4th. His first time up against Holton. Shows bunt, pulls back. Fastball left north for ball 1. Holton hasn't been in the zone all that much with the fastball this inning either. Only been 4 pitches, but partially probably has to do with the fatigue after going a couple innings of relief already. Next pitch, fastball laced towards center field, racing over Sartori, dives, he can't get it! It squeaks past him and ends all the way to the wall in dead center. Klein getting the wave around third, the relay throw from Hidalgo is cut off, and Klein jogs home safely. Sefcik up to third with an RBI triple. This freshman's got some serious pop, helped out by the dive of Sartori, but finally one of those line drives falls. 6-2 Rivets in the 6th. Sartori sold out in center field, jumped parallel to the ground, glove first, and couldn't come up with the catch, and it squeaked past him all the way to the wall. Klein never stopped running, and now Sefcik at third with nobody out for Trent Lawrence. Kokomo infield all even with the bags playing off the line. 1-0 is the count to Lawrence. Next pitch from Holton away for ball 2. And you don't want to say it because of how some games have gotten away from this Rivets bullpen, but it feels like every run is paramount here if the Rivets can micromanage another run. But a really good breaking ball from Holton on the 2-0 pitch gets Lawrence swinging in the dirt. 2-1 now the count. Four RBIs for Lawrence this season. Next pitch, another breaking ball, this time up in the zone. He swings through it again, 2-2. Bellata on deck. He's 2 for 2. But Lawrence looking to keep the line moving here in the 6th. Back-to-back hits for Rockford. They have 9 now in the game. Inside, 3-2. Holton might be reaching the end of his line. Some arms getting ready to go in the Kokomo bullpen. Here's the 3-2. Breaking ball swung on and missed. Well, he faded the changeup to Lawrence in a 3-2 count. He swung through it. It's a forced strikeout for JT Holton. Now 1 away for Jake Bellata. Bellata having himself a night. He's 2 for 2 with a couple of runs scored. 2 RBIs to his name as well on a double down the right field line. Thornberry over at first is still playing off that line where Bellata deposited that double in a similar situation with the infield in earlier in the game. First pitch is low for ball 1. See if Jake can poke it down that way again. 1-0 pitch. Hit on the ground, up the middle, past the diving shortstop Gazdar. He'll just do it the old-fashioned way. It's a third hit of the game for Jake Bellata and a third RBI. Sefcik comes home to score, make it 7-2 Rivets in the 6th. Hit parade continues. Give Rockford 10, and they're up to a 5-run lead here in the 6th inning. 3 already in the frame, and the lineup turned over for Ty Krittenberger. Holton will stay in to face the right-handed bat, who's 2 for 3 today. Shows bunt up the first base side. Thornberry hesitated. Krittenberger beats it out. Krittenberger bunted it up the first base line. Thornberry went to go cover the bag. Realized he had to come for it as the ball gained pace. He scooped it up. Krittenberger was already past him by the time he went for the tag. And it's a bunt base hit for Ty Krittenberger. Up the second, Bellata. 2 on with 1 out. Here comes Stephen Leonetti. That might be it for TJ Holton. 3 hits today for Krittenberger, 11 for the Rivets, who have turned this game on its head starting in that 3rd inning. And remember, it all started with an error against John Gazdar. Holton hands off the baseball. His day is done after 2 1/3. They'll make way to the bullpen. But the error from Gazdar allowed Sefcik to reach in what was a free and easy game early on for Braden Tucker. Really showed no problems through the first 6, 7 hitters of that game. And then Rockford came back with 3 well-struck baseballs for a 4-run inning and has now gotten to JT Holton here in his 3rd inning of relief. So new arm on the mound for Kokomo. We'll bring you his name and numbers when we come back. It's 7-2 Rivets. We'll step aside on the top of the 6th here on the Rockford Rivets Radio Network. Third arm of the evening for the Jackrabbits. Richard Keel comes on to pitch. Top of the sixth inning. Already 2 runs across in the frame for the Rockford Rivets, who lead at 7-2 and still have 2 on with 1 out. Johannes Hawkinson, 0 for 3 today with 3 strikeouts, but he can change his fortunes with 1 swing of the bat against Keel. First pitch from the lanky right-hander. Sidearm delivery. Cross body on the right-handed hitting Hawkinson. The pitch is over the outside edge for a called strike. Hawkinson did deliver an RBI single on opening day when he faced Keel, who so far this season as making his 3rd appearance. He's 0-1 with an 11.25 ERA, giving up 5 earned runs on 4 hits in 4 innings. 3 walks, 3 strikeouts. Goes with the knee-high Brown Sox. Kicks his right arm back before firing home straight away on the mound after the high leg kick. His next pitch is upstairs to Hawkinson. Counts 1-1. Krittenberger on first off the bunt single. Bellata on second after his RBI single, his 3rd RBI of the game, scoring Luke Sefcik. Devastating breaking ball from Keel. Dashes away from Hawkinson's bat path. It's 1-2. Keel stands at 6'5", 217 pounds, a sophomore right-hander from Australia. Already mentioned the unconventional delivery. Hands will come set at his belt. Straight away on the mound. Bent at the back foot. A cross-body delivery. Sidearm from the right side. And a swing and a miss from Hawkinson at a changeup. He's down swinging. 4th strikeout already for Hawkinson here in the 6th. That's the first for Keel. And there's your 2nd out of the inning. Tough delivery to pick up, especially when he's got his breaking pitches moving. We'll see if the lefty can have any more success as Dylan Robertson steps in here with 2 outs. Robertson today 0 for 3. Has put the ball in play all 3 times. A couple of ground outs and a fly out. First pitch from Keel. Just inside for ball 1. This could be a little more friendly of a matchup for Robertson than somebody like Hawkinson, who sees the ball going away. This pitch starts outside for Robertson, comes back in towards the hands of a left-handed bat, so towards the bat path, moreover. Maybe makes it a little easier for him to drive a pitch. 1-0. Check swing. He did not go. Crew Chief Billy Yeager making the call. 2-0 the count. That pitch dropped low and inside. Was another breaking ball featured by Keel. 2-0 on the way. Robertson has it hit right on the right shoulder, and it ricochets to hit Voth as well. He pounds his fist into the turf as he gets back up to walk over to Keel. That was a nasty ricochet. It hit him right on the inside of the pec, actually, mentioning the home plate umpire, and then it must have ricocheted off of Voth, who was a little slow to get up. Robertson immediately chucked his bat towards the dugout and headed down to first base, so it didn't faze him one bit. But that'll move everybody up 90 feet, and the bases are now loaded with 2 outs. And look who's coming to the plate. Matthew Mebane, your Northwoods League RBI leader. He's 1 for 3 today with a single. 14 run batted in of the year. Has 3 home runs, 2nd in the Northwoods League. A big spot against Keel, who drops the changeup, a wild wave and a miss from Mebane for strike 1. Mebane didn't look comfortable on that swing. A changeup that darted way outside towards the lefty batter's box. Likes going after the breaking ball. Here's the 0-1. Fastball roped into left field. It's down for a base hit. 1 run scores in Bellata. Right behind him, Krittenberger slides in safely. Robertson up to second, and Matthew Mebane does it again. An RBI machine. Give him 3 on the night. 16 to lead the Northwoods League. 9-2 Rivets in the 6th. Just a line shot right in between the third baseman and shortstop. Gazdar and Galindez could only watch it fly right in between them, as Matthew Mebane has his 2nd single of the game, 2nd and 3rd RBIs. And Rockford continues to pile it on. A 4-run 6th inning. They've now batted around as Ryan Hampy comes to the plate. He'll take outside for ball 1. And the crooked numbers have been there for the offense. A little slow day at the office yesterday after the long travel all the way from Kalamazoo to Kokomo. Was a 2.5 hour early morning trip, and the Bats had one explosive inning, but this Kokomo pitching staff had done its job, all things considered, against this Rockford team yesterday. But the Rivets have come back out aggressive, and they're adding on to their early crooked numbers. I think that's the big thing to go after. Multiple innings with the crooked number. It's not all being done at once. That's got to give this offense a lot of confidence moving forward. Outside, 2-1 the count to Hampy. One for three today with a single back in the fourth. 2-1 pitch, fouled straight back. Well, Rockford with a win today. Road trip has seen things get away from the Rivets, but they've seen how easy it is for other teams around them to make up ground in the Great Lakes East. They have an opportunity to do so right here. A win today puts them at 4-4. That's a tie with Kalamazoo, who took down Traverse City in an early morning affair today, and they'd be a game out of second place heading into the first off day of the season. Pitches outside, ball 3. I think that's something you have to take going into the first off day of the season. In a highly competitive division like this, where every team has shown that they can beat anybody on any given day, before you have your full roster intact, again, a lot of bodies going to start to arrive in the coming days. The 3-2 pitch is off the plate, ball 4. Keel thought he had strike 3, was just below the knees on the outside edge. So Hampy takes his 2-out walk, and the bases are loaded once more. Still not out of the woods yet. First man to bat second time in the inning is Colton Klein, who led off with a single, came around to score. Left-handed bat of Klein, right-handed arm of Keel, trying to get out of damage here. First pitch low and inside. He hasn't been able to hit the zone consistently to the lefties. Hasn't really gotten many of those calls. He starts out with ball 1 to Klein. 1-0 pitch. Hit on the ground towards second. Easy for Hagen in the hole. Klein's hustling out of the box. Forced a throw that Throneberry had to reach across the bag to snare. Klein was busting out of the box and put some pressure on Hagen, who lackadaisically waited back on the baseball. But they're able to nab him by a step, and the side is retired. But not before Rockford bats around and adds 4 runs into the frame. 4 runs on 5 hits. No Jackrabbit errors, 3 men left on base, but the Rivets will take it. 9-2 Rockford heading to the bottom of the 6th inning, and a well-cushioned lead for starter Ross Thompson. He's back on the mound after this here on the Rivets Radio Network. Nine-two Rivets as we head to the bottom of the 6th inning here in Kokomo. Starter Ross Thompson's been given another free and easy lead to work with, almost mirrors what happened on opening day, where he gave up some runs early, and then the Rockford offense bounced back in a big way. It was 9-3 on opening day. But now a chance to pitch with a slightly more cushioned lead at 9-2. 2-3-4 due up in the Kokomo order. Alex Neff into the lefty batter's box to lead things off. The righty Thompson gets first pitch, ground ball to first. Lawrence fields it in between his legs from behind the first base bag. He'll walk it over himself. One pitch, one away. That's been the efficiency for Thompson in these last few half innings. 1-2-3 third inning on 6 pitches. 1-2-3 fourth inning on 9 pitches. 1-2-3 fifth inning on 11 pitches. And now one away in the 6th on 1 pitch. That's 27 pitches to get 10 outs. That's going to keep you in the game for a while. That was his 60th pitch to start out Neff for the first out of the frame. Angel Galindez now comes to the plate. Was reached on a fielder's choice in the first from the right side, then singled the other way from the left side of the plate. So the switch hitter will head back to the left side, taking strike one. Next pitch, ground ball towards third. High hop for Mebane. Fields it off his right hip. Throws, even with the infield green turf, and makes it across the diamond to Lawrence in time. So another quick out from Galindez. 3 pitches to retire the first 2 here in the 6th. I said it already. This is when Ross Thompson's at his best. This is what made him so good last season for Rockford and got into that Northwoods League All-Star game. Had the 4th lowest ERA among pitchers in the Northwoods League with 40 or more innings of work. Hagan, hard hit, base hit into left field, past Bellata at shortstop. So a line shot for Ethan Hagan. That'll break up the streak of batters retired from Thompson. It's his 6th hit allowed, but just his first base runner since the 3rd, and that one was erased on a double play ball quickly. But a 2-out base runner nonetheless here for the Jackrabbits. And just an ambush of a first pitch fastball right there. Thompson was trying to get a get-me-over strike, but Hagan having none of it. See if Kokomo can rally now. John Gazdar. Right-handed batter with 2 outs. Wide open stance, wiggling the bat off his right shoulder. Thompson set to deal the first pitch to him. High leg kick breaking ball is hammered into left field, down on one hop in front of Klein. Back-to-back hard hit singles here with 2 outs in the inning. Certainly nothing hurt, but that first get-me-over pitch, not going to do it here for Kokomo. They've caught on as they look to rally back here in the bottom of the 6th inning. And league-wide off day tomorrow, so you'd like Thompson to go as deep into this game as possible, just given how many arms have been used and how taxed they've been in the early season for Rockford. But you do have a luxury of knowing that all your arms are going to get a rest tomorrow. First pitch inside to Hidalgo. He's 0 for 2 today. Grounded out the second and also struck out. Hidalgo taking his time getting back into the batter's box. He bends at the knees. His left elbow jutted out over home plate. Rotates his arms above the right ear flap on that black Kokomo batting helmet. Thompson's outside with a fastball, 2-0. Thompson spins the baseball behind his back, glove pressed against his belt loop on his left hip. Gets a sign from Hampy, who's set up outside. Kicks and deals a 2-0. Fastball's laced right back up the middle, over the head of Thompson. It's through into center field, a base hit. They'll send the runner home. Throw from Crittenberger comes into third baseman Mebane. So an RBI single will score Hagan. 3 straight really hard hit singles. Stopping at second is Gazdar. So Kokomo gets a run back. It's 9-3 here in the 6th. We'll see if Kokomo can continue to rally here. No sense of urgency from the Rivets. No bodies even out in the Rockford bullpen. They trust their experienced arm to get out of this situation. Connor Throneberry, now the hitter. We said Throneberry didn't play a lot for Penn State this season. He's 0 for 2 today, reached on a fielder's choice and scored back in the second, but he has plenty of pop. Played for Marquette Senior High School, where he was first team All-State in 2021. He had .422 with 7 home runs and 10 doubles. 1-0 pitch. Fastball's elevated foul off to the right-hand side. 1-1 the count. And this is a very pitchers-friendly park at Kokomo Municipal. Talked about the dimensions plenty tonight. The wind is blowing out to left, and it's beginning to pick up a little traction, about 13 miles per hour. If you get one up into that jet stream, 348, even 330 down the line, Throneberry probably has enough pop to put a jolt into one. Would still only make it a 3-run game, but it shows you this one's not quite over yet here in the 6th inning. We've seen this happen before. But Thompson looking to right the ship for Rockford here on this road trip. Runner's not being held on. Here's the 1-1 pitch. Fastball spiked in. Hampy picks it on the short hop. His throw back to second. Just millimeters late. Is coming back in safely was Gazdar. Sefcik was running over from second to cover the throw. He points to Hampy. Lets him know he appreciates the hose. Gazdar was just able to get back in the nick of time on the back pick. Pitch was called a strike. So it's 2-1. Rather, it was called a ball, excuse me. So 2-1 here to Throneberry. Pitch on the way. Chopped off the end of the bat, foul to the right of Hampy. Counts even at 2-2. Hampson's already stranded 2 runners tonight, trying to strand 2 more here in the 6th. Kokomo's gotten a run back, but it's 9-6, rather 9-3 Rivets in the 6th. 2-2 pitch. Elected to go with the slider. It broke away outside, and the count's full. Brant Voth on deck, 1 for 2 tonight. Already has a double. Throneberry crowding the plate from the right side. Runners take off with the 3-2 pitch. It's elevated towards center. Crittenberger's got a beat on it. Drifting backwards, makes the catch over the shoulder. Handful of steps away from the warning track in dead center. That will retire the side. Kokomo puts a jolt into a couple. They get 1 run on 3 hits in the inning. 2 Jackrabbits left stranded. No errors for the Rivets, who lead 9-3 through 6. As Ross Thompson's able to continue his efficiency, albeit around a little trouble. Bottom third, 2 up for the Rivets here in the top of the 7th inning when we come back on the Rockford Rivets Radio Network. Top of the 7th inning from Kokomo Municipal Stadium. 9-3 Rivets lead the Jackrabbits. Going to salvage a split and a win on this 4-game road trip. A league-wide off day tomorrow. Then 2 more road games for the Rivets in Kenosha against the Kingfish. Off to a hot start this season before they welcome Kalamazoo back to Liney's Field at Rivets Stadium for the weekend. Luke Sefcik set to lead off. Bottom third due up against Richard Keel. Third, Jackrabbits arm of the evening, back out there for a second inning of relief. The righty sidearm specialist delivers crossbody, a strike 1 over the outside edge to Sefcik. Luke's 1 for 3 today, an RBI triple in the 6th inning. Hit a line shot to center that Luke Sartori in center field sold out for. Couldn't make the catch, went all the way to the center field fence. This one's bounced out to shortstop. Gazdar on a couple of ops, scoops it off his belt loop, throws across in time. Sefcik retired for the first out of the 7th. Take a look at the action across the Northwoods League. So we get a look at some of the other scores in the Great Lakes East Division. Hit on it earlier. Kalamazoo, a 12-4 win to settle a split with Traverse City. That game started at 10:05 a.m. Eastern Time. We've seen some early getaway day games in Michigan early on in the season as Lawrence swings and misses at a breaking ball. He's 1 for 3 today with a double and a run scored. A couple of strikeouts as well. He's down in the count 0-1. We've seen a couple of those getaway day games in Michigan particularly. They enjoy those early season education day games when students are still in school and they can flood the stands. Lawrence swinging a miss again at a breaking ball. He's going to have to make an adjustment here, down 0-2. But not quite 10 a.m., usually 11 a.m. That's an early one. Traverse City will be getting home mighty early as Kalamazoo takes that one to split the series. So the Growlers are now 4-4 after starting the season 0-3. And, of course, the 2 7-run comebacks against the Rivets to add on to that total. So the Growlers all of a sudden moving with a lot of mojo. As things stand right now, they are in 3rd place in the Great Lakes East. Rockford hoping to join them at a record of 4-4. Lawrence a swing and a miss at the 1-2 pitch. He goes down on strikes for the 3rd time. Quickly 2 down here in the 7th. 5-2 here between Rockford and Kokomo. 9-3. The scoreboard app currently not up to date with the live stats here on this one, but having a few errors with that so far this weekend. Hoping the folks up here in the press box continue to piece that together through some technical difficulties. Definitely working hard up here for the Jackrabbits. Rick Johnson and that whole operation here in Kokomo. First pitch off the plate to Bellata, who's 3 for 3 today. 3 RBIs, a couple of singles, a double. Scored all 3 times. First pitch to him. First 2, I should say, off the plate, 2-0. And then the other big game in the Great Lakes East, currently going on in Battle Creek. How about the Battle Jacks? First season of a rebrand from the Battle Creek Bombers. And if this current scoreline holds, they will be in first place going into the first off day of the season after having one of the worst records in the league last season. Bellata pops one to right field, and it's caught by Hidalgo to end the inning, 1-2-3. 5-0 Battle Jacks in the top of the 5th inning. They would take first place away from the Kingfish and be 6-2 if that current results holds. So watch out for Battle Creek. No runs, no hits, no errors, nobody left. Still 9-3 Rivets. We'll head to the bottom of the 7th after we stretch here at Kokomo Municipal on the Rivets Radio Network. Bottom of the 7th from Kokomo, 9-3 Rivets over the Jackrabbits. Starter Ross Thompson still out there for inning number 7 to work. How about this milestone? 1 week into the season, first time a Rockford starter has reached the 7th inning. Of course, head coach JT Scarrow just being careful with his arms for the most part in the first week of the season. Can't stretch guys too thin. couple of times outings have fallen apart around the 6th or 7th inning for some of those starters, but mostly the starting rotation has done everything you could ask for this Rockford team in the early portion of the season. A team currently at a record of 3-4, looking to move to 4-4 if they can hang on here, but it feels like a couple of games that definitely got away from them. They could be right in that pole position in the Great Lakes East right now. Things would have came together a little differently. First pitch is bunted foul from Brant Voth, attempting to reach out of the 8-hole. The catcher for Kokomo, switch hitting, batting from the left side, has doubled and struck out tonight. Next pitch to him. 0-1 is elevated, now 1-1. But looking at Thompson, you got some bodies now starting to stir in the Rockford bullpen. Nobody up and throwing yet. Thompson's at 81 pitches, including the 2 here to Voth. Pitch number 82, a fastball, corked foul, watch out. Straight into the Jackrabbits dugout. A bunch of cream jerseys go ducking their heads. It looks like everybody's all right. Counts 1-2. Folks glancing over to that side. I haven't seen anybody emerge with the baseball yet, but it looks like nobody injured as a result of that foul ball. Here's the 1-2 pitch from Thompson. Out of the windup, grounded foul. Watch out. Colton Hahn's got a magnet to his feet in the first base coach's box. Looks like he's all right as that ball pokes into right field. It'll be thrown back in by Hawkinson, who's patrolling out there. Brant Voth is keeping everybody on their toes either side. I'll be ready. Here's the 1-2. Fouled straight back. Not quite high enough to work us here in the press box. It's off the brick facade behind home plate at the backstop. But it'll stay at 1-2. There's a lot of cautions being taken with Ross Thompson as well. All the innings he's had at Heidelberg, 1-2 pitches low, 2-2 now to Voth. All the innings he's had at Heidelberg this year, the fact he's a very experienced arm. He threw 71 innings in the spring. So you make that opening day start, you get him through 5. His pitch count starts to lean up there. So you get him out, and then Thompson actually could have been scheduled to start yesterday's game as a 2-2 pitch. Swung on and missed for strike 3. Second time Voth's gone down swinging. It's the 4th strikeout for Thompson, 1 away. But head coach JT Scarra elected to go with Kent Evans. And talking to Thompson, he just wanted that extra full day of rest. You get a day game after a night game, early morning travel, can really throw a pitcher out of their rhythm when it comes to getting ready for first pitch. Rivets arrived maybe 2.5 hours, if that, before first pitch yesterday. So it throws pitchers out of their rhythm. And when you have a heavy workload with a guy like Thompson, you want to give him that full 6th day off and maybe elect to go with a little bit of a bullpen game. Garzinski gives that one a ride, swinging at the first pitch out towards right. Hawkinson, good closing speed coming in, catches it for out number 2. Johannes came in from shallow right field, made the catch about letter height on his graphite-colored jersey. He lost his hat again. It's been flying off, tracking down plenty of baseballs in right tonight, but quickly 2 up, 2 down here in the 7th. Extra day of rest has certainly bought Ross Thompson some good. He's pitched a lot of contact again tonight, 8 hits for Kokomo, but he's been at his best at times, and especially when Rockford needed it. After the Rivets took the lead 4-2, he had a string where he retired 10 batters in a row. And that really shifted the momentum of this game and allowed the Rivets offense to take over. First 2 pitches to Sartori, one taken for a strike, one low and away, so the count's 1-1 to the Kokomo, leadoff man, who's 0 for 3 tonight. Infield back, nobody on, 2 outs, 9-3 Rivets in the bottom of the 7th. Next pitch, Sartori fans on a slider, and it's 1-2. 11 pitches so far in this frame for Thompson. That puts him at 90. Again, in the Northwoods League, can't start a new inning after 100, cannot start a new batter after 110. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Here's the pitch. Fastball upstairs. Sartori doesn't budge. 2-2. Starting to see a couple bodies up and throwing. One of them throwing a football in the Rivets bullpen, so I don't think they're coming in. Looks like Jacob Newman is one lightly tossing with backup catcher Owen Brock. Line shot, Sefcik, what a grab! Lunging out to his left, parallel to the ground, plucks the baseball right from off the turf surface. And a line out for Luke Sartori ends the 7th inning. What a play from Sefcik at second base. Sharp have been the Rockford Rivets tonight in all facets, 9-3 through 7. If that's the end for Ross Thompson, a successful second start of the Northwoods League season. We'll head to the 8th after this here on the Rockford Rivets Radio Network. For the 8th inning from Kokomo, 9-3 Rivets, top of the lineup coming to the dish against Richard Keel, who remains out there for a third inning of relief for the Kokomo Jackrabbits. It's the 5th time through the order for Rockford. Ty Crittenberger in the leadoff spot is 3 for 4 today. First pitch bounces in towards zone plate for a ball, 1-0. Crittenberger looking for 4-hit game number 2 in the Northwoods League for him. Went 4 for 6 on opening day against this same Kokomo team. See if he gets anything to hit here down in the count now. 2-0, up in the count after taking low and away once again. Only been one walk in this game combined from the two teams. Game to Keel last inning and a full count to Ryan Hampy. Next pitch is over the inside edge for strike 1. That's pace of play for you. Stay in the strike zone. A lot of pitching staffs pitching to a lot of contact. Even in a high-scoring game, still moving on a merry way here. Just over 2 hours in. Series finale between Rockford and Kokomo before the two teams have an off day tomorrow. Crittenberger skewed one foul off the facing of the Kokomo bullpen, third base side, so the count's 2-2. He'll adjust his all-black batting gloves before the 2-2 pitch comes in. Keel's looking for a fresh baseball, and they'll take the foul ball and throw it back into the Jackrabbits' pen. Crittenberger's got the all-white turf shoes, the white sleeve, and the white wrist tape as well to complement the graphite uniform with the gold numbers and lettering. Here's a 2-2 pitch. Sidearm delivery is on the outside corner for strike 3. Crittenberger grimaces before walking back to the Rockford dugout. Third strikeout for Keel, first out of the 8th inning. It's really well located pitch with 2 strikes right over the outside edge of the plate. Good frame from Voth. And in a 6-run game, that's probably going to be called, especially in the 8th inning. Here's somebody looking to avoid another strikeout. Johannes Hawkinson 0 for 4 with 4 of them tonight. Had a good game yesterday. Squared up plenty of baseballs. Was 2 for 4 with a couple of singles. And also had a line out to center field. He's been feast or famine at times in the Northwoods League this season. But he's somebody that offers a lot more beyond the bat. Plenty of veteran presence in that dugout. And also a plus arm in the outfield. And plenty of range, too. Has been on full display tonight. He takes 2 straight out of the zone. 2 balls, no strikes. Nobody up and throwing in the Kokomo pen. Jacob Newman continuing to fiddle with the baseball in the Rockford pen. Thompson's in excess of 90 pitches, but could still start the 7th should he choose to do so, as Keel stings the outside corner to Hawkinson, 2-1. I like kicking the pitch. Fought off towards second base. Diving stop from Hagen. Ball wasn't hit square at all from Hawkinson. Was an inside-out swing. But Hagen still had to make a plus play, diving out to his right to snare that ball out of midair for the second out. So 2 down, nobody on. Dylan Robertson, your batter. 0 for 3 today, hit by a pitch back in the 6th, was left stranded on 3rd. Pitch finds the inside corner for a strike. He was hit by a pitch for seeing 2 straight out of the zone from Keel first time through. The 0-1. Off the plate, 1-1. Robertson will have the bat come to rest on his left shoulder. 1-1 pitch. Fought off foul. Been a lot of rivets following the action in the NCAA Division I baseball tournaments. We see Matthew Mebane fling his bat towards the on-deck circle and hustle the whole way over back to the backstop to chuck a baseball that was fouled off by Robertson into the Kokomo dugout. He's not letting anybody else beat him to that baseball. Of course, a lot of individuals following the NCAA tournament. Robertson's one of them, following Missouri State, where he'll obviously go to play next season after his time at Iowa Western Community College. Pitches in the turf 2-2. And how about that Missouri State-Oklahoma State game? 12-run lead for the Bears at one point, and Oklahoma State rallied from behind to score 29 runs and win 29-15. Robertson squares one up, but it's well fouled down the right field line. That one had the distance to go out here at Kokomo Municipal. Not too many balls do, but he just pushed it foul, and it stays 2-2. Former Northwoods League All-Star Griffin Dorsching, of course, has been a viral sensation for Oklahoma State. The huge frame, all the tattoos, the wild blonde hair. Hit a home run of nearly 500 feet in the Big 12 tournament and has been going yard with regularity in the NCAAs. Next pitch was outside, so a full count here to Robertson. Big payoff on the way in the pitch. This one laced down the right field line. This time it's fair, and it kicks all the way into the corner. Hidalgo fiddles with it for a second before throwing it back in. Robertson slides into second base safely with a 2-out double. Good piece of hitting from Dylan Robertson. Got a pitch inner third with 2 strikes and was able to drive it down the right field line. It's another double in this game for Rockford, and he's in scoring position with 2 away. Fourth extra base hit of the evening for the Rivets, and now Matthew Mebane a chance to add a 4th RBI. Singles and back-to-back ABs. This one hit hard on the ground towards shortstop. Gazdar's got it deep in the hole. His throw across the diamond in time. Mebane still hit it on the screws, just not enough to get through the infield. Well positioned where the Jackrabbits side is retired. No runs on a hit, no errors. 1 man left. Played 7.5. 9-3 Rivets. We'll head for a break here on the Rivets Radio Network. Only 2 more trips up for the Jackrabbits. They trail by 6 as Rockford looks for his first road win of 2022. It's 9-3 Rivets. And starter Ross Thompson is back on the mound for inning number 8. Entered the inning with 92 pitches, so per Northwoods League rules, can still face new batters until he's reached 110. This will be the 4th time Alex Neff has seen him. He singled back in the first, retired his last 2 times, flew out to right, and grounded out to first. First pitch to the left-handed bat from the right-hander out of Heidelberg is outside for a ball. Next pitch on the way, it's popped up foul left side. Klein will give it a chase from left field, but it's onto the grass hill just outside of the Kokomo bullpen. Arms up and throwing for the Jackrabbits. Jacob Newman's been up throwing a while for Rockford, but an opportunity here for JT Scarrow to get a starter through 8 innings and continue to rest those arms, both bullpen and starters, with the off day tomorrow. I think he'll take all the innings he can get out of Ross Thompson. Here's the 1-1 pitch. Tight to Neff, 2-1. And in an ideal world, in a 6-run game, you can get Thompson through the 8th unscathed, and then you can turn it over to Newman in the 9th with a 6-run lead. 2-1 pitch is over the outside edge. That changeup, he loves throwing to lefties, 2-2. 4 strikeouts for Thompson, 8 hits, 3 earned runs, 0 walks. 2-2 pitch. Down low, we'll have to deal with a rare full count. Off on the way. It's high, ball 4, so. Give myself the announcer's jinx. It's the first walk for Ross Thompson here in the 8th inning. Leadoff man aboard for Angel Galindez. Manager JT Scarra's out. We wonder how long the leash is for Thompson. He's at a middle portion of the Kokomo lineup. We'll see if he'll be taking the baseball here. Galindez does have a hit off of Thompson, 3 of them already this season. 1 came back in the 3rd inning, and his infielders are giving him some hugs, giving him some embrace. This might be where he walks off the mound. Leash was probably pretty short, and there it is. He's hugging the rest of his relievers, his battery mate happy, and hands the baseball off to JT Scarra. So Ross Thompson's day is done after 7+. He'll head back to the dugout and encourage on the new Rockford arm, Jacob Newman, newly clean-shaven and into the game for the Rivets. We'll give you his stats when we come back here on the Rockford Rivets Radio Network. So it's Jacob Newman on the mound for the Rockford Rivets. Hard-throwing right-hander, 6'2", 220 pounds, from Glenview, Illinois. The University of Illinois Springfield. Set to make his 3rd appearance of the season so far, 0-1. Allowed 4 earned runs in an inning, 5 runs overall on 2 hits, 7 walks, 0 strikeouts. First pitch to Angel Galindez, switch hitter bat from the left side, is outside, 1-0. Newman has experience against his Kokomo team. Pitched an inning on opening day, gave up an unearned run, but did walk 3. Galindez was one of those 3 walks back on opening day. 2 straight out of the zone from Newman as it misses low and outside, 2-0. And this is Jacob Newman's first outing since the nightmarish end to the Friday night matchup against Kalamazoo Growlers, where he lost command of the strike zone in the 9th inning and allowed 4 Growlers to score en route to Kalamazoo's 9-8 walk-off. Next pitch is outside to Galindez, 3-0. But Newman owned that outing with a lot of conviction, came back the next day and was in very good spirits and attacked the situation with a lot of confidence. So this is his first outing since then, looking to get things right. 3-0 pitch is over the inside edge. Letter high to Galindez, 3-1. But he's somebody you're definitely rooting for out there. Has the stuff, has the velocity on the fastball. Just has to find that strike zone. And talking to him after that outing, he's confident that he's going to bounce back. Here's the 3-1 pitch. Just off the inside edge, ball 4. So Galindez walks. Back-to-back base runners for Kokomo here in the 8th inning. Gonna bring up Ethan Hagen, 2 on, nobody out here in the 8th. 9-3 Rivets. First pitch swung on grounded foul from Hagen, straight back 0-1. But talking to Newman about that outing, he explained, it happens. Sometimes you just go out there and don't have command, and certainly took it in good spirits. Also talked about how loud it was in Kalamazoo. Those fans raining down on him, the pump it up, blasting from the speakers in between pitches in the 9th inning. Said it didn't feel like a baseball game. I'm talking to him, I equated it to maybe a college football or college basketball atmosphere. He said that was much more likely. 1-1 here to Hagen. Inside off the glove of Hampy. Runners will scamper forward 90 feet. Neff up the 3rd. Galindez up the 2nd. 2-1 the count to Ethan Hagen. Newman's also had a hectic road trip in his own respect. Had a sibling, that graduated from high school in his nearby town of Glenview. So he drove himself to Kalamazoo and then did not make the trip to Kokomo with the team. 2-1 pitch is a breaking ball at the knees, 2-2. And instead missed the game yesterday so that he could go back home, watch his sibling graduate high school, and then drove back to Kokomo today and will stay an extra night at the hotel the team stayed at and drive himself home tomorrow during the off day. 2-2 pitch, just off the outside edge of the plate. Looked good out of the hands, but the count's full. He's been through a lot these last handful of days. He's beginning to find the zone here on the mound. Big payoff on the way to Hagen. Still nobody out in the 8th. 2 on, 9-3 Rockford. Here's the pitch. Check swing. It's a called strike 3. Went back to the curveball. Hagen has a few words for home plate umpire Evan Kerr. Brief exchange before Hagen walks back to the dugout. Doesn't matter. It was a called strike 3. First strikeout for Newman. 1 away here in the 8th. Still 2 in scoring position. John Gazdar comes to the plate. 2 singles today. He's 2 for 3. First pitch off speed from Newman runs away. 1-0. Gazdar with the wide open stance from the righty batter's box. Newman off the first base side of the rubber, out of the stretch. Low with the fastball, 2-0. Newman has good stuff, just has to find that zone early on in counts. If he could pitch from ahead with that plus breaking ball, he's going to get some swings and misses. Hagen looked uncomfortable against that, both with the swing and miss, and then the check swing, not check swing, called 3rd strike. 2-0 pitch, there's the breaking ball. It was over the plate, bounced foul towards the Jackrabbits dugout, 2-1. 2 balls, 1 strike. Kokomo dugout trying to urge itself back into this contest. Newman lost control of the breaking ball on that occasion. Hit Gazdar in the left shoulder, so he'll walk down to first base. Bases are now loaded with 1 out. That one stings. You start to get back into counts against a guy like Gazdar. Hit him with the pitch, and now all of a sudden nowhere to put them with Carlos Hidalgo coming to the plate. Hidalgo singled his last time up. He's 1 for 3. Righty on righty matchup with the bases loaded. 9-3 Rockford with 1 out in the bottom of the 8th inning. First pitch, fastball's low. There's another arm getting loose in the Rivets bullpen. It's Noah Ruin. Should this issue continue to escalate for Jacob Newman? 1-0. Fastball low and away. Hampy reaches across his body to keep it in front of him behind the dish. "98 pitches for Ross Thompson, 7+ innings, 8 hits, 1 walk, 4 strikeouts. 3 earned runs as it stands right now. That runner on third is his responsibility after the leadoff walk. And after another out of the zone from Newman, 1 pitch away from forcing that run in. "3-0 pitch. Finds the inside edge, 3-1. Taking all the way was Hidalgo. And given the deficit here, it's 6 runs. I know Hidalgo's got some pop, but I wouldn't be shocked if he's taking a second strike here, knowing you need 6 runs. You need base runners in this situation. Here's the 3-1 pitch. It's low, ball 4. He is taking all the way, and that forces in a run. RBI walk. Crowd slowly starting to awaken here, Kokomo Municipal. It's 9-4. JT Scarra's out of the dugout. See how long the leash is here on Newman. He's walked 2, hit 1, struck out 1 so far since coming in for Thompson. He is approaching the bottom third of the order, so if you want to let the leash go a little longer, you can do that. You can give him one more chance here to try to settle into this outing. And I think that's what he's going to do here. Not going to pull him, but if you do allow one more run in, that does bring the tying run to the plate. And it's something you have to be wary of. They are going to keep him in, give him a vote of confidence. Luke Sefcik staying behind as the rest of the infield retreats back to its positions. Give him a little extra pep talk, pat him on the back. Hampy will retreat back to the crouch. Sefcik still giving Newman a little more advice before he retreats back to second base. And that's leadership from the young redshirt freshman. What you like to see. So Throneberry is up to the dish. 0 for 3 today. Did reach on a fielder's choice and score in the second. Grounded out to short and flew out to center. Newman a deep breath on the mound. Kicks off the first base side of the rubber. The pitch. Throneberry went around on the inside fastball 0-1. Shocked to see Connor Throneberry swinging at the first pitch, especially out of the zone. Thought for sure the take sign would be on, given Newman's inconsistency in the zone, but now he's down in the count 0-1. Next pitch, outside edge, called strike on the fastball, and now it's 0-2. It now really plays into Newman's hands. The pitch he's been able to throw consistently for a strike has been that curveball, and now it certainly plays in an 0-2 count. See what he goes with here. Deep breath in the pitch. Fastball swung on, popped up, shallow left field. Klein waving his arms out in the air. Didn't see it at first. It's caught deep at shortstop by Bellata. Well, Klein totally didn't know where the baseball was. It looked like maybe he was calling for it in left field. My eyes were all on him. And then it was caught in shallow left field, maybe 10 paces in front of Klein, who lost the ball in the lights, by the shortstop, Jake Bellata. And he makes the catch, no advancement from the runners, and there's 2 outs. Guess Twilight hurts the broadcasters too. But Klein had his arms in the air. Couldn't tell if he was calling for it or he had lost it. He was in straightaway left field. Had no idea where the ball was. Bellata came out and caught it in shallow left. Second out anyway. Rockford can take it. Brand Voth now comes to the plate. 1 for 3 with a double and 2 strikeouts. First pitch down low. Want to know the count. Bases still loaded. 9-4 ball game. The bottom of the 8th inning. Voth, switch hitter, batting from the left side. Bent at the knees, open stance, crowding home plate. Next pitch ducks away, 2-0. Jacob Newman looking to limit the damage here. Only one run across. It was charged to the bill of Ross Thompson after the leadoff walk, but the bases are still loaded. 2-0 pitches inside, 3 balls and no strikes. If you walk him here, it forces another run in, and the tying run comes to the plate in the 9-hole man, Riley Garzinski. Rockford at one point led 9-2. Now it's 9-4. 3-0 pitch. Hit on the ground. It stays in fair territory. They actually call it foul. It went off the leg of Voth. And once again, baffled in any case, as is the runner on first in Hidalgo, why Voth is swinging 3-0 with Newman struggling to hit the strike zone. And that's a pitch that, if the umpire doesn't see that hit off his foot, is a fair ball that Lawrence fields right next to first base and is the final out of the inning. But regardless, it's a 3-1 count. Newman fires home, outside, ball 4. RBI walk for Voth that forces a run in, and Galindez. Now it's 9-5. Scara heading out of the dugout. That looks like that might do it. Third walk for Newman. He'll no doubt be frustrated. Surrendered a run here without allowing a hit. 2 across in the frame for Kokomo. And they're on the verge of really making this game interesting. So Jacob Newman done after 2/3 of an inning, unable to get out of the frame. And so it's left to the third Rockford arm of the inning, trying to get out of Dodge here in the 8th. We'll have the name and numbers when we come back here on the Rivets Radio Network. It's the bottom of the 8th inning from Kokomo Municipal Stadium. Rockford leads the Jackrabbits 9-5, but things have got a little interesting here in the last half inning or so. Starter Ross Thompson was on the mound to start the 8th inning, walked one batter, and then was pulled for Jake Newman, who has proceeded to walk the bases loaded, hit a batter as well, and that's going to set the stage here for Noah Ruin, third Rivets pitcher of the inning, to try to get out of this jam. Kokomo's played a 2 in the frame. That makes it a 9-5 game. Ruin this season through 2 appearances, a 6.75 ERA. Through 2 and 2/3 has given up 3 runs, 2 of which are earned on 4 hits, 4 walks, 2 strikeouts. We talked about what this could mean for Jacob Newman if he was able to find his control in this outing. For Noah Ruin, this is even more vengeance, an outing that got away from him against Kokomo back in Rockford that really wasn't too conducive to how he pitched. First pitch to Riley Garzinski is bounced foul. Garzinski was one of those individuals. Ruin gave up 3 hits in that outing, allowed 2 earned runs, both his earned runs on the season, 3 walks and 2 strikeouts. Not a lot of those hits were necessarily hard struck, and one of them came off the bat of Garzinski, a jam shot that was over the head of the second baseman Sefcik. Next pitch, check swing. He went around, according to Tyler Melhop, on the Ruin breaking ball. 0-2. And so now Ruin can try to get revenge against the Jackrabbits and close this game out. 3-pitch mix, fastball, slider, changeup. Has shown the fastball and slider so far in this AB to Garzinski. Got ahead 0-2. And the pitch. Sidearm delivery, fastball popped up, foul over top of the Rivets dugout, first base side. Ruin drops down to that sidearm release from the right side. His fastball sits high 80s, tops out at 90s, slider in the mid 70s, changeup low 80s. Works off the first base side of the rubber out of the stretch. Here's the 0-2 pitch. Fastball in on the hands, popped up again. Lawrence gives it a look, but it's out of play on the right side. Brzezinski, a thorn in the side of the Rivets so far this season. 3-hit game. Back in Rockford. Today already a 2 RBI single. Down in the count 0-2. Here's the pitch. Went with the breaking ball. Broke away from the bat path. Is taken for a ball. 1-2. Top of the order, and Luke Sartori waits on deck. Bases loaded. 1-2 pitch on the way. Fastball hit on the hard on the ground towards second. Vacuumed in by Sefcik. He goes the short way to second. Bellata covering the bag, and it's in time to end the inning. Garzinski hit it on the screw. Sefcik well positioned. They'll erase Voth and retire the side, but Kokomo does get back into this one. Jackrabbits 2 runs on no hits, no errors, and 3 left on base. Through 8 innings, 9-5 Rivets, and the offense can go back to work one last time to try to out onto this lead. 5-6-7 due up for Rockford, and we come back here on the Rivets Radio Network. Top of the ninth from Kokomo Municipal Stadium, 9-5 Rivets. Looking to close it out. 5-6-7 due up in the Rivets order. Their last ups, potentially, to try to add on to this lead before the ninth. And it's a new arm they'll face. Fourth Jackrabbit pitcher of the night is Nick Rispoli. 6'2", 225 pounds, sophomore right-hander out of Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, a Dayton Flyer, making his second Northwoods League appearance of the season. First batter will face is Ryan Hampy. Hampy is 1 for 3 today with a single and a walk. First pitch high and tight. Hampy contorts himself out of the way. Ball 1. But for Rispoli, he pitched against the Kenosha Kingfish on the road this past weekend, just 3 days ago. Gave up a run on 3 walks and 2 strikeouts. No hits. Hampy bounces one to third. Up with it is Galindez, 1 away. Clean throw across the diamond will retire Hampy for the first out of the ninth. For Dayton this season, 3 appearances for Rispoli. Only went 2 1/3. Allowed 3 earned runs on 2 hits, 3 walks, 2 strikeouts. Last pitched April 20th against Butler before arriving in the Northwoods League and pitching against Kenosha. Klein takes high for ball 1. Rispoli has a live arm, definitely a plus fastball, but struggles controlling the zone at times. Klein is 1 for 4 today with a single and a run scored. The left-handed bat of Klein takes a fastball at the letters. It gets on you quick. It's a 1-1 count. Lots of arm side run on that Rispoli heater. Another arm getting loose for the Jackrabbits, should they need it. But right now, Rispoli's all over the zone. Another late swing and a miss from Klein at the fastball. 1-2. That plus velocity is going to fluster even a hitter like Klein, who's very mature in his approach. Talked about at Carthage this season. He hasn't seen a lot of 90 plus. And so it makes it a little harder to pick up when guys are throwing it. Rispoli's certainly bringing the heat here. 1-2 pitch. On the way. Tried to elevate the fastball a little further. Klein easily saw it out of the hand for a ball. 2-2 the count. Rispoli set, works exclusively out of the stretch. First base side, the pitch. It's a called strike 3. Right back to the heater, this time inside corner. It froze Klein. First strikeout for Rispoli. 2 down quickly in the ninth. So nobody out, nobody on, 2 outs. Luke Stefsik, the batter. Stefsik is 1 for 4 today, reached on an error and scored in the third. Tripled home a runner in Klein in the sixth and scored himself as well. Pitch is high and tight to Stefsik, 1-0. It's a tough fastball to read out of the hands of Rispoli. Tough over-the-top motion with a lot of whip on his arm as he overarches the top of that baseball. 1-0 pitch. Popped up. Playable first base side. Throneberry has it in foul territory behind the first base bag for the final out of the inning. A quick 1-2-3 ninth. Quiet for the Rivets. Just what the Jackrabbits needed to seize on to some of that momentum they got in the eighth. No runs, no hits, no errors. Nobody left on base. Noah Ruins walking back out towards the mound. He's got 3 outs left to get for Rockford to secure road win number 1 and move back to 500. It's the top of the order. Sartori, Neff, and Galindez, the scheduled hitters. 9-5 Rivets will return with the bottom of the ninth after this on the Rivets Radio Network. Bottom of the ninth inning from Kokomo Municipal Stadium, 9-5 Rivets looking to close it out and salvage a split and salvage some kind of momentum from what it's been a very challenging beginning road trip to 2022. Rockford's been walked off twice in Kalamazoo and gave up a go-ahead run in the 8th inning here in Kokomo yesterday afternoon. Noah Ruin got out of a jam in that last half frame. Only 2 runs across for the Jackrabbits. They left the bases loaded, and he'll face the top 3 in the Kokomo lineup here in the 9th. Starts with Luke Sartori. Righty on righty matchup. Sartori 0 for 4 in today's game. Outfielder from Nebraska rests the bat on his right shoulder. First pitch from Ruin. The sidearm release from the righty. Low and away for ball 1 on a fastball. Sartori did not face Ruin in his inning plus in Rockford to start the season between these two teams. 1-0 pitch, fastball fouled straight back in between the wickets of catcher Ryan Hampy. 1-1 the count. Jackrabbits scored 2 in the bottom of the second to take the lead before Rockford answered with 4 immediately in the top of the third. Rivets added on 1 more in the 5th, added on 4 in the 6th. Next pitch, grounded towards first, past the diving Lawrence. It kicked off his glove into shallow right field. Lawrence dived towards the right field line, and it just kicked off his mitt. We'll see how it's scored. It looks like it will be a leadoff single for Luke Sartori, his first hit of the game. 9th overall for this Kokomo team. And that'll bring Alex Neff to the dish with nobody out. Kokomo scored 1 in the 6th, then as we mentioned, 2 in the 8th to make it a 9-5 game. Ruin peers in and Hampy for the signs. First pitch to Neff, fastball over the outside edge, a called strike 1. Neff 1 for 3 today. Singled in the 1st, walked and scored in the 8th. Also flew out to right and grounded out to 1st. Lawrence currently holding on the runner. Sartori, Kokomo team that likes to run a lot, but would have to think wouldn't run themselves into any outs in a 4-run game. Mebbins behind the bag at 3rd, playing off the line. Middle infield push back to turn 2. 0-1 pitch. Goes back with the changeup on the outside corner. Neff didn't like it. Has a few words for home plate umpire Evan Kerr, but it's 0-2. Outfield straight away for the Rivets here in a 4-run game. 0-2, nobody out, bottom of the 9th. 9-5 Rockford. Leadoff man aboard for the Jackrabbits. Ruin looks in. Here's the 0-2 pitch. Inside, nearly hit Neff, who was in no particular hurry to get out of the way of the heater. But he takes, and it's 1-2. Rockford does have an arm up in its bullpen. We'll see who it is after the 1-2 pitch. Ruin deals home. Breaking ball low. 2-2. Light tossing for Alex Pipes as it stands right now. 2-2 pitch. Fastball up and away. 3-2. Neff, 3 walks, 3 strikeouts this season. Has hits in 4 of his first 5 in the Northwoods League. Has already walked today. Sartori, a minuscule leadoff first base. Rest of the infield back. Payoff pitch on the way. Grounded to second. Sefcik waits back on it. Throws to second for 1. Bellata's relay on to first. Not in time, but they cut down the lead runner in Sartori. He's erased on the fielder's choice. Neff reaches first. 4-6 on the putout. 1 away here in the 9th. Credit to Luke Sefcik right there. Plays the high hops on this turf. Makes the smart play. Makes the safe play. Rather than trying to rush for a double play in a 4-run game. Waits back on the baseball. Bellata can't quite put enough on the throw. Doesn't have a lot of time to make the throw. But they're able to erase the lead runner. Get the sure out. 1 away for Angel Galindez. Swings at the first pitch. Sends a line shot foul into the Rockford bullpen. Nearly pegs Alex Pipes. Was getting ready to take off the mound. It's not a very big bullpen. It's boxed in below ground level here at Kokomo Municipal. to pinball it around in between the wickets of Pipes, who looks to be no worse for the wear. 0-1 the count to Galindez. Reached base 3 times today, 1 for 3. Next pitch is upstairs, 1-1. Fielder's choice in the first, single in the third. Bounced out the third and the sixth, walked in, scored in the eighth. Switch hitter electing to bat from the right side against the righty Ruin. Seen him do this against righties all night long. Switch sides in between at bats. The 1-1 pitch is a slider on the outside edge that gets the call for strike 2. Galindez loves to crowd the plate from the right side. Rotates his hands off his right ear. Bat rested off his right shoulder. Here's the 1-2 pitch. Ruin tries to break it back outside. Hampy has to stretch across his body to keep it in front of him, pluck it out of the lefty batter's box. 2 balls and 2 strikes is the count. Again, 9-5 Rivets here in the bottom of the 9th inning. 1-2 count, 1 away. Rockford looking for road win number 1. Sartori led off the inning with a single, raced on a fielder's choice. Neff reached first on the fielder's choice. He's leading off the bag. 2-2 pitch, spoiled foul again. Ruin peers in for his sign. Comes set at the belt. Peers down with his black cap. Looking back at the runner. Now gets the sign. Sidearm delivery. 1-2 pitch. Low and away. 3-2. Another deep count. Hagen waits on deck for Kokomo. Payoff on the way. Way outside. It kicks off the glove of Hampy towards the backstop. No contest for ball 4. And now 2 on with 1 out in the 9th. It's the first walk for Ruin. The 4th. Through an inning and a third for this Rockford bullpen after starter Ross Thompson only walked 1 through 7+. Ethan Hagen has had some success against Rockford this season. 3 for 13, but has produced 2 RBIs coming into tonight. Tonight he's 1 for 4. Can bump that average up to 4 for 17. Righty on righty matchup. First pitch for Ruin. Fastball, check swing. It's a called strike. Remember, Hagen was rung up on a check swing on a full count to Jacob Newman in the last half inning. Didn't like the call from home plate umpire Evan Kerr. Has a couple words for him after that check swing on the first strike against Ruin. Crowding the plate from the right side. Lifts his hands up high over his head in the unorthodox stance. Here's the 0-1 pitch. Slider over the outside edge. Ruin can't find the call. 1-1. Hard to get that slider for a strike. Here's the 1-1 pitch. Fastball bounced towards third. Mebane has it on the backhand. Steps on the third base bag, but it's called a foul ball from crew chief Bill Yeager. Mebane was doing everything he could to will that ball into being fair. He put his feet on the edge of the white line and lunged his top part of his body forward into foul territory to pull that baseball back, almost trying to make it look like it was in fair territory so he could just stand on the third base bag and throw across the diamond. He's shrugging his shoulders right now at third base. He was trying his best. Could have been a double play to end the game. Instead, it's 1-2. Here's the pitch. Fastball popped foul right side off the netting. Rockford once led the game 9-2. It's now 9-5. Noah Ruin is trying to drag the Rivets across the line. Been a tough road trip, particularly for the pen, but looking to end it strong. 1-2 pitch. Breaking ball swung on and missed for strike 3. Went back to the slider, and Hagen fished across the zone. First strikeout for Ruin, 2 down in the 9th. Big strikeout for Noah Ruin. And now it's left to John Gazdar. Gazdar is 2 for 3 tonight. Pair of singles. He's popped up and was hit by a pitch back in the 8th. First pitch from Ruin. Swung on and missed. Got him with the off speed. He's taking a little off, and it's fuzzing the time of these Kokomo hitters. Gazdar was way out in front with a wild swing and a miss. Here's the 0-1. Another big swing. This time it's popped foul, and the Jackrabbits are down to their last strike. Rockford led by 7 in Kalamazoo in Game 1, 8 in Game 2. They led by 1 run yesterday late. They somehow have not come out of this road trip with a win yet, but could pull back to 500 here. The 0-2 pitch. Fastball fouled off. We'll do it again. All the Rivets are at the top step of their dugout, waiting to rush out onto the field. It's been a few tough ones to swallow, but still early in the season and looking to bounce back. 2 on in the 9th for Kokomo. They trail 9-5. 0-2 the count. Ruin looking to close the door. Here's the pitch. Breaking ball low and away. Happy lunges across to keep it in front. 1-2. Gazdar, a tough guy to strike out. Not going to give anything here with 2 strikes. Ruin comes set. The product of Tyler Junior College with the 1-2 pitch. Breaking ball, swung on, popped up. This should do it. Sefcik calls off Lawrence. Deep at second base, he makes the catch, and the ball game is over. Rivets win, and Rivets finally get that elusive first road win of 2022. They take it 9-5 over the Kokomo Jackrabbits to salvage the series split and head back home for tomorrow's off day. For Kokomo in the 9th inning, no runs on 1 hit. No errors and 2 men left. And the Rockford Rivets, that's gotta feel good after the way these last few games have stung. They're finally in the win column on the road, and they're back at 500, tied for 3rd in the Great Lakes East. Just 1 game out of 2nd place, and they play the 2nd place Kenosha Kingfish out of the off day. High fives from head coach JT Scara as the team litters back into the dugout. And almost a sigh of relief to get this one underway. Didn't start particularly hot for the Rivets. 2 early runs from the Kokomo Jackrabbits to get out to a hot start in this one through Throneberry and Voth coming home to score on the 2 RBI single from Riley Garzinski. But much like in a lot of these games, in the middle innings, the Rockford Rivets offense came alive 2nd time through the order against starter Braden Tucker, who really looked like he was set for a masterful performance early on in this one. 18 pitches to get the first 6 outs, and then an E6 from John Gazdar. Everything fell off the rails after that. 3 straight hard-hit baseballs, 4 runs in the inning for Rockford, and the 35 pitch count forced Kokomo into their bullpen that hasn't been great this season, and that's where it all started to get away from the Jackrabbits. So our final score here from Kokomo Municipal, 9-5 Rockford, a game that took 3 hours and 4 minutes here from Kokomo Municipal Stadium. For Rockford, it was 9 runs on 13 hits. No errors, 7 left on base. The highlights, Matthew Mebin, another 2-hit game. He 2 for 5 with 3 RBIs. He continues to be masterful, leading the Northwoods League with 16 runs batted in. Luke Sefcik, an RBI triple, and Jake Bellata quietly in the 9-hole. 3 for 4 with 3 hits, 2 singles and a double, and 3 RBIs of his own for the Rivets. For Kokomo, 5 runs on 9 hits, 2 costly errors in that 4-run inning for Rockford. Already mentioned the Gazdar error, and then the error in right as well from Hidalgo allowed Krittenberger to score in that inning as well as a 4th run, and that really shifted the momentum. And starter Ross Thompson for the Rivets going 7+ strong, allowing just 4 earned runs, only 3 of them while he was in the game. Over 98 pitches really helped Rockford secure the momentum in this one. Thompson gets the win. He's 2-0. The loss in the game goes to Braden Tucker. He's 0-1 after just arriving today for the Jackrabbits and making his first start. Noah Ruin gets the save. That's his first save of the season for the Rockford Rivets. That'll do it for our coverage here from Kokomo Municipal Stadium. Hope you've enjoyed listening along throughout the entire road trip. A much-needed off day for both teams tomorrow, and then the Rivets go to work in Kenosha, and you can listen to both of those games right here on the Rockford Rivets radio network. But for now, Andre Magaro signing off. Once again, our final, Rockford 9, Kokomo 5. Hope you've enjoyed listening, and